What's up, everybody? Happy Halloween. Welcome to the Juice is Loose number 114. And we got the Team Juice back in force, full force. And we got a pretty interesting podcast, hopefully, for you guys. And, I know it's Halloween, so maybe don't get the live audience we've had in the past few months or whatever, but we're just going to roll with it. So let's say hi to our guest. And first up, we got Terrell. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Insane Game Freak here. And since it's Halloween, the scary thing I have to say today is that the pre-stream that you guys didn't get to see lasted about another 15-20 minutes. So too bad.
Spooky.
Man.
Next up, we got Robert. What's up?
How's it going? It's Robert and Gaming with me. And woo!
I thought you were going to go,
Anybody got a Dracula voice? I was thinking about that.
About to suck your blood.
You sound like you're drowning.
Definitely not Robert. All right. Next up, we got Rob. What's up?
Hello, everybody, on this spooky Halloween. It's good to be back on the podcast.
That's Jamaican, I think.
Yeah.
The Jamaican vampire. Right near the beach.
It's 2016, man. We gotta get out of these
He said
stereotypes.
Dracula, not Blackula, man.
It's 2016. We got to get out of these stereotypes. Come
I
on,
did
man.
my best combo. Also, happy Halloween.
All right. And finally, Ms. T's finally been rescued by the B team. What's up, man?
Hit up, fools. Happy Halloween to everybody. And I must say, we all float down, yeah.
Ooh, I like it. Bringing me back.
All right. So, I thought we could start because it's been a few weeks since we really some games have come out and we haven't really had a chance to talk about. I'm going to start with my thoughts on Recore, which I did the 30-minute trial. You download the whole game, but you only get to play it for 30 minutes before they cut you off. And I was just going to give my quick thoughts. I know, Rob, you said that it got better. Every time you turned it on, you felt a little bit better about the game. So I'm going to take that into consideration. But this is just 30 minutes of playing the game. It was okay. I was very disappointed, though, in just the game visuals overall. It was just kind of an ugly looking game from art direction, texture quality. I'm playing on high settings on PC, and it's pretty ugly. And I heard or read that the Unity engine is not known for 3D gaming, and someone was actually shocked that they took the Unity engine and made a 3D game out of it. So that might have something to do with it. The load times are only 10 to 12 seconds though on my PC, which was nice. But yeah, just the combat, you hold the left trigger, you hold the right trigger, it's kind of, and then you jump around and you can pull their core at certain times. And to me, it was already repetitive after 30 minutes. So that's to me, when it drops to $20 or below, I might consider it down the road. So a little disappointed. I actually wasn't high hopes for the game, but after what you guys have been saying, and I didn't get to like all the platforming stuff. I did some platforming. And it was definitely even in the 30 minutes, it was even a little tedious, even on the platforming side of it. So it's not a game I'm gonna be picking up anytime soon. So that's kind of my take. I know it's been out like a month now. So
Couple months, I think. Maybe even probably 2.
Demo. He made up his mind.
I made up my mind that I ain't paying
That is
$40.
the purpose of a demo, though. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's
I know.
interesting, though, like,
It
because I know
felt like
Robert...
an indie to me.
Wonderful 101?
That's a
demo-
good ass demo, though.
And the demo to me is exactly what the game is. Like they're 1-to-1 for me.
Yeah, I don't know. When I think about Recore, and I know because Robert and T, you guys played a lot of it too. Like just playing the first half an hour, I don't think that's a good amount of time to understand that game because of how. I mean, like the combat is so simple at first, but that game gets a lot better. I was surprised how much more fun it got as we played.
It's deep.
It is actually. It's deceptively. It's not as deep as most games.
No.
It's good that it was budget for sure, but it's deceptive at first, and I was really happy it got a lot better as I went.
Yeah, and I mean,
But the art direction is lame, by the way. I agree with you with that.
Yeah,
one.
It's a terrible looking game
It's
from
bland.
technical and artistic standpoint.
Yeah.
And
That never, like, I mean, obviously, it's not that great looking game, but that never bothered me because I was just having fun, just like everything else is tight. Like I feel like the gameplay is tight. I feel like the controls are really tight. And I was just enjoying it for what it was. I knew it was going to be some big, epic scope type of deal. To me, it just feels like an old school kind of arcadey puzzle, platformer.
That's actually because it has like those dungeon sections where they're like dungeon rushes, like small time Zelda dungeons. And then once you get, and I don't know if you guys got far enough to start really expanding all your core bots and having a lot of different core bots, that changes the whole world you're playing in, because you can interact with those big maps in totally different ways, and the combat's gets like 1,000 times more complex. I was really surprised. I have like probably 4 core bots, and I think there's 6 total, and it just changes everything. Yeah,
I haven't gotten to that point, but that's what I hear from a lot of people who have.
Oh, dude, you got to do that. So, it literally is a different game once you have multiple core
I could
bots.
see, it getting better, but just from what I played, I'm not going to throw 40 on it, but I could see like 20.
You ever played Jet Force Gemini?
I have not.
See, okay. So that's another thing that it made me feel like I was playing again. I feel like it was kind of a spiritual successor.
Yeah, it kind of made me like when I played Fatal Frame 5, like, that reminded me of playing Resident Evil, and I got a good nostalgia feeling out of that. But I could see if somebody who was like Robert's age would hate how that game controlled. So so without like being able to appreciate it on that level, that's just another thing I can't.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things that made me like it, because it felt like JFG kind of a little bit. So
yeah, I would think if you picked it up at $20, Juice, I feel like you'll like it if you really get a couple hours into it.
I feel like it'd be worth that.
Yeah, and I mean, I only paid $30 because I got it on Amazon.
Yeah, I would say it's at least 30. It's worth at least 30. I would say
it's something.
Robert, I don't know how far you got in it, but
I don't know either.
Okay, never mind.
I will say though, like it does feel like they ripped off Lara Croft's from the waist down, like they just took her character model.
Well, I mean, it's perfection. So why rebuild the wheel? It's
the same like colored pants and everything.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. Oh,
yeah. I thought you meant by the ass.
I know that's like,
it's the same ass. It's the same. It just looks identical because I played Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then literally the next
he stared at that ass for days, man.
Yeah. So
anyway, that's why you didn't enjoy Recore. You weren't looking at the environment; you were checking out that.
Yeah,
I know. Come on now.
Looking at the interior. That's
so let's get on. The interior. Let's give Rob a chance because you weren't here to talk about Gears 4 the last time when that game came out. You said you just beat the story.
Yeah, just last night. Yeah.
Just quick summary of what your thoughts are on the game.
Yeah, so huge Gears fan. The first Gears of War is like one of my all-time favorite games. And so I was really pumped for Gears 4, and it's awesome, but it's just more Gears. So that's kind of the thing is they took the formula that really, really worked for them, and they just made it look better. They made it play a little bit tighter. The campaign is really, really long. My biggest negative with the campaign, having just beat it last night, is normally this would be a good thing, but in this game, it's maybe not. Like, they tried to really get story heavy, which I do like the idea of, but the first act and a half have so many cutscenes. Like, every 5 to 10 minutes, the game stops to give you another little movie thing and takes the control away from you. And like, when it happens that often and that early, it just drives me insane. It's what killed The Witcher for me. I had to stop playing The Witcher for that same reason. And I've yet to go back, even though I do intend to. And with Gears, I was like, why are you guys doing this? Like, find monsters, shoot monsters. That's all I need to know for Gears of War. But that did go away, and the campaign and the set pieces got really, really awesome. The ending has an insane cliffhanger that actually made me really kind of angry, but it set up what could be a pretty cool thing for the next game. So overall, I mean, like, the set pieces and like some of the new variety stuff that they threw in and new weapons were really cool. It was a lot of fun. They play with like weather and stuff, and you have to kind of deal with weather elements, which was new for the series, and I liked that. And they added new characters, brought back some old characters, which was like really nostalgic when they finally showed up near the end. And I was like, oh, I missed you guys. That's really cool. And honestly, the multiplayer is the best it's been ever since the first game. It's better than 2, 3, and Judgment's multiplayer, and that makes me really happy too. So overall, I mean, I was expecting it to be like a contender for my game of the year, and as much as I love it, it's definitely not going to be. It'll make my top 10, but it's not going to be like in the upper echelon like I was.
Yeah, because you predicted that would be your game of the year. Just
I did think so, and I don't know if it's because it's not. There's really nothing bad about it other than the cutscenes in the first act, and like there's really nothing else wrong with it.
It's just one of those. I think we talked about this maybe with the podcast you were in. Like it to a point, some games just need to change. That's why I always appreciate the 3D Mario games. Like I don't know that I'd want Galaxy 3 and 4 by now. You know, like just and same with Gears. Like after 2, 3 to me was it's just so much more the same. Like changing the environment really doesn't make that big a difference for me in a game like that. So I never played Judgment, and it's just for me it's too soon for even.
Don't worry about Judgment, just keep moving.
I thought like, Judgment was okay.
If they had stopped
great, after, it was okay.
Like if they had stopped after 2, and then this was like the first one in a long time, then yeah, I would have been right there day one.
Well, even Judgment, it was either 2011 or 12, so that's 4 or 5 year gap. That's actually pretty good. Maybe it was more recent. Maybe it was 13, but that's still a pretty
either
good
way.
Years.
Like I'm good for that
type
of game for probably another 5 years, just like the Arkham games. Like
and I think that's the thing that I'm struggling with. I'm not struggling with how much I love it and how much I recommend any fans of Gears buy it. It's that I love the fact that they didn't change what wasn't broken, and they just made a really kick-ass, straightforward Gears action game. But at the same time, I realize now I was maybe missing a little bit more of a change that would have definitely helped. And then near the end, they have a couple of really cool gameplay changes that they have you do, like some unique things that I don't want to spoil. And it's like they should have done way more of that and way earlier, and that would have drastically changed how new of a game it would have felt, I think. It was like, man, you waited till the second to last chapter to do this. Should have done this in the middle of the game. It would have been a whole new game all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But overall, it's great. I mean, it's a great Gears game. Gears is awesome, and I still say people should play it.
All right, Robert, I know you bought Battlefield 1. I haven't heard one thing about it from you. So what's your take?
You ain't played it yet.
So, no, I did. I did play it, and, man, it's so fluid. And, like, you know, I like Call of Duty. I like Call of Duty, and I didn't really get into, like, the other Battlefields. But this one, for some reason, I think a lot of it has to do with it takes place in World War I. It's so cool. I've only played the multiplayer. I didn't play the single player yet. And I've heard it's good, but I've heard it's like 5 hours, pretty short.
I've heard it's good, though, too, yeah.
But, like, the multiplayer is awesome. Like, you got the giant maps. That's the usual staple for Battlefield. But, like, the fact that it's in World War I, and you got, like, you could ride these horses, and you're slicing people with horses, and then you're in a plane, and you're shooting people in the plane. Like it's almost like a war. It's literally like a war each map.
That's the whole point.
That's why I call it Battlefield, man.
But,
I know, but that's why that's a good thing, you know.
You're a noob, or kind of new to Battlefield.
Yeah.
Some Battlefield veterans, I watched a couple different reviews, and they feel this one really dropped the ball as far as the actual gameplay and stuff.
That's too bad.
I've played 3 and a little bit of 4, but I didn't bother with Hardline, and that's why But I find this one really cool. I like this one a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I tried, man. It's just like you spawn, you move, all of a sudden you're dead. It's like,
bro, that's how these games go.
You gotta
get good. You gotta get good.
Son. Come on.
I'm already. The thing is, I was already.
You're not gonna get a Tanuki guy show up and give you a gun in the beginning.
I remember the first time I played Unreal Tournament. Like I was like 99 or something. 98.
Good stuff. Yeah.
And it was like, I had never seen 60 frames per second. None of that stuff. It was my friend's PC. And it was just like zooming all over the place. And I got killed like 3 times in a row real quick. And the guy teabagged me. And it's just like, this is amazing. So that's what happens. And I got better. You get better.
Yeah. I'm good at Call of Duty. I mean, I'm really good. But it's like the difference between somebody that's high ranked, like the things they have in it, you could look at it 2 ways. Like you could say, well, there should be rewards for playing that long and stuff, but to start out in those games, it's so like demoralizing because by the time I play, people are just, even like a week in, these people are so far up and have all this equipment and stuff I don't have, and it's like it's so hard to get actually.
You got to stop having a job. You got to
Look at all
stop
this
paying
soul
Yeah,
done.
basically.
Yeah, I definitely don't think
really
it's as
unfortunate.
balanced.
From.
Like I think Call of Duty, it seems more skill based, like level based to me, because a lot of the times when you're like in a level 1, you'll get a lot of the lower levels. But in Battlefield, I get I get these guys that are like 56. It's like wait. You know, it's been 3 days, right? What happened?
Well, that just is kind of like up to how they balance the servers and stuff, right? I mean, maybe that means they just didn't really put that whole infrastructure together well.
Probably.
Like the matchmaking balancing, right? I think that's what that comes down
like
to.
the skill rank
sucks.
or something like
And
that.
you want to wait until they get all that stuff figured out, but by the time you like Juice was saying, you get in there too late. You get murked because everybody's all high ranked and you can get destroyed.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I played 3, I played 4, and I played the beta for Battlefront, which isn't exactly the same, but it's has a similar structure. And I even did all right in 4 on my buddy's PS4. Like I did pretty decently, but it's just like I just feel like nothing. You don't really contribute to a lot unless you're like higher level and you actually can do some of the things and have the abilities that you really need. And it's, to me, it's just never been. I like that the quicker type of games, like the team deathmatch stuff, like over in 5 minutes and you're on to the next one. That's kind of what I like anyway. But
no, yeah, I get you. I think that's me too.
You're
like
one of those guys, in and out, huh?
I will always prefer like Black Ops 1 is like my favorite like shooter. But like I mean Splatoon's the best shooter, but like Black Ops 1, I love Black Ops 1. And
that
it's
was a good game.
Call of Duty that I've actually prestiged like 5 times. Like I've never done that. And so yeah, I love Black Ops 1. That's like
I do like that Battlefield tries to do something different though. Like,
for sure. Yeah.
Have all
there's
that
no
stuff
doubt.
going on at once. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. They really put their best foot forward when they make those games. Like except for the one Hardline, I guess that was like total crap.
Hardline.
Yeah, but like with Battlefield 1, like I was thinking about getting it. I passed on it because there's so much else. But it's like I admire that, like you're saying, they always try something different. They try to go against what Call of Duty does so that they stand out, and they put a lot of effort into it. And so that counts for something. But
yeah,
but it was interesting.
Like in a 20-minute match, like all those cool moments you see in trailers and stuff, like that rarely happens because it's just such a big area.
Battlefield,
there's just so many, like the deaths sometimes are just anticlimactic. you travel forever, you get to a point, all of a sudden you're dead, and you don't even know what hit you, type of stuff.
Yeah, that happens in a lot of games. I hear about the campaign though. What's cool is they tell it in like vignette style, so that you're following like a couple of different soldiers, like 5 or 6, and you continually play different chapters of their lives, and it's supposed to be like really cool, like pretty like for a Battlefield game, artistically done. Which you take that with a grain of salt, the use of the word artistically, but for what they normally do, it sounds really interesting considering it's a World War I setting. So that's the only part of Battlefield I'm curious about is what that campaign's like.
You got the World War I setting, and then you have a sub 5-hour campaign. It's like it just seems like missed opportunity.
I hadn't heard that before. Is it supposed to be that short?
Yeah, I heard it's like 5 hours.
Really? That
5 to
sucks,
6.
I ain't gonna buy it for that, man.
Yeah, and it's like you play as somebody, you go through their part of the war, they get killed, you move on to the next person. I don't know if they all die, but I know some of them die.
I get they know where the meat of the game is, but you got to give us a little. That setting is perfect for a nice, cool story.
That setting is good enough to make a game that has no multiplayer. Just make a really killer 15-hour campaign.
Yeah, but it's like when they try to do story, it's always the dude bro action.
So lame. They don't even put any real effort into it.
Yeah, and the dialogue's terrible. It's like you can hire, with all that money, you can't hire like a good writer and just have a serious story. Like
some Saving Private Ryan type of stuff.
Exactly. Crazy. But anyway, in Titanfall 2, Rob, I know you've been playing that. Just, I guess, summarize as quick as possible. Yeah, I know you're not that far into it.
Yeah, I've actually put a pretty good amount of time into it though, because it's excellent. And I I had mild expectations because I played the first one like a year later just to give it a shot when I could buy it for $15, and I was like, hey, this is pretty cool, but it's not what we were promised when it first showed off. And I honestly I was gonna play Titanfall 2, but I was only mildly interested, so I literally forgot until like a week before it came out. I was like, oh shit, Titanfall 2 comes out, I think. When does that come out? Oh, it's next week. Okay, I guess I'll buy it. And so then I've been playing it, and it's spectacular. They have fixed every weird quirk the first one had. The balancing on the huge maps and multiplayer is fantastic. The game runs rock solid 60 frames per second on and offline. The campaign is meaty and an interesting story, and the weapon gunplay is absolutely fantastic. It's just, and they fixed all the Titan combat, so it's not as clunky and awkward as it was in the first game. I don't know. I don't even know how many other good things I can say about this game. I hate to say it, but I think it's probably better than Gears of War 4. It's really freaking good. Like, it's really good. So,
I heard,
Titanfall.
I was watching the Digital Foundry talking about just the no latency. The controls are just, everything is instant response. The weight of everything feels, like they were saying, feels just spot on. And it's like they got the controls down pat. To me,
I would agree with that.
Titanfall 1, I felt controlled great, but it's just all the bots in the online, all the bots and stuff I felt were just nonsense, and getting in the Titanfall actually, for me, lessened the experience. So
I think I felt I think I felt similar stuff too, because like the online maps, it was so chaotic, and because of like the weird bots and stuff, I was like, it's fun because shit's blowing up everywhere, but I'm a little bit confused. I don't even know what I'm doing. And those are the kinds of things that they fixed. Really, like the inclusion of like NPC stuff is way more balanced with the flow of the match, and it's easier to know when you're killing a pilot player and someone who's just like a little bot fucking thing. And it's impressive what they did. And to summarize what they were saying about the controls, if there's one adjective I can describe how this game plays, it's sexy. This game plays really, really sexily, and better than I could have possibly hoped. Even. It's sexy. So, yeah. I mean, I think you'd enjoy it.
By the time I bought the first one, it was like 3-4 months after it came out. There wasn't even 8 people in the pilots only lobby, where it's just pilot on pilot.
Wow.
That was that on Xbox or PC? Because that did a PC too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like, it felt so good. I was like, I just want to play without the Titan, and there was not enough people to really play. So I'm hoping that Titanfall 2, at least, I have a feeling it's just going to fade it again, just like maybe a little bit. It lasts a little bit longer. I just feel like I just don't think it sets itself apart enough.
It's definitely releasing at a tough time because Gears just came out, Battlefield just came out, Call of Duty is next week, Titanfall's this week.
Crazy.
It's like, and I didn't realize. I mean, I've always liked shooters, and I plan on playing all of these except for Battlefield. But I'm like, this is too many shooters. This is like too many, and I don't even know how to keep them all freaking straight in my head at this point. So, not to mention, Doom came out earlier this year, and that's a spectacular shooter. So this year has had like too many shooters, but they've all also been really good. So it's like, I don't know how to balance that in my brain, you know?
Yeah, because Titanfall 2, the part you were playing in your video that you had gameplay, it looked like a mix between Crysis and Halo. Like,
it does have a Crysis kind of, and that was, to be fair, the very first little mission kind of training thing. I've captured some stuff since then, but that's a fair comparison. It definitely doesn't feel like Crysis, though, man. Not at all.
No. I think if they just said, all right, we're going to have 24 or 32 players instead of AI bots. Like, before the match, certain people get selected, or there's maybe 4 people on a team can earn the right to get a Titan. And then the rest of the people, to me, like, that would sound so much better than just, is it still 6-on-6?
It is, yeah, it is.
And then,
but it's interesting because, like, again, they've balanced it so well that I feel, based on the jump they've made with the bots from the first game to this game, that by the time a Titanfall 3 comes out, if we get there, they might kind of borrow some of what you're trying to say, and I could almost see bots being totally gone by the next game. Maybe.
That would be nice.
But it really doesn't hinder the gameplay in this one like it did in the first one, though. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, you could just mow those things down and like...
Well, they were annoying because you're like, oh, I killed someone. Oh, wait, it was a bot. What the hell? It didn't feel like you did anything. But in this game, it doesn't feel like a hindrance.
All right. So, in honor of Halloween, we're going to talk about some horrors in gaming, and the first one thing I want to talk about is 130 gigabytes of Call of Duty madness. If
That
anybody,
is terrifying. That is utterly horrifying.
That is horrifying. Yes.
that is
That is some ass.
that is the combination of Infinite Warfare and Call of Duty 4 remastered.
And infinite developer laziness.
Yeah, 130 gigs without DLC, just the base games. You'll have to have available on your Xbox One. PS4, I don't know if it's going to be the full quantity.
Xbox One, yeah.
Because, Xbox One, the whole game installs. What'd I say?
Good luck with that at this point if you have an Xbox One.
Yeah.
So I just want to get your guys' thoughts. I know the PC version of Infinite Warfare is 70 gigs by itself, which is just ridiculously huge. And it's like, what is taking up all that size, But so it's like, I need to get a bigger solid state because, well, I could put it on my other hard. I got a terabyte external I could run it off of, but that's just, I know that's going to happen. The games are going to get bigger and bigger, as years go on. It's just inevitable. But to me, let's say it's 70, 80 just for Infinite Warfare. Compare that to Battlefield 1, which is like 40 gigs. If I recall, well, that's on PC. And it's like, why does this game need to be so big? And what are people going to do? I mean, how many games are you going to have to delete, Ms. T, to free up 130 gigs?
Are you kidding me? I'm going to have to delete half my damn games that I have right now. That I have the 500 gig, obviously. And by the time, before you even put your first game on that thing, it's already down to 4 something. It was like 420 or something. So,
I thought it was 380 something.
Oh, no, what am I saying?
No, it wasn't that low.
No, it's
I thought it was like 380 something.
No, I don't think it was that low.
You might have, I guess maybe if it had a pre-installed game.
I think mine was like 420 something.
What happened to mine?
You got screwed.
Oh, no.
And then, you got 60 gig games, 40 to 60.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 I'm looking right now because you guys asked. It's 60 for Titanfall. So
and it's just like,
on the Xbox.
So 2013, the original, Xbox One, not the S or anything.
That's what I have.
Only had 362 gigabytes available.
Okay, so I'm wrong.
But that could have been changed. They could have.
That was so long ago, though. So
and that might have been with the Kinect part of.
They might have shrunk that down with the new Windows. They might have freed up space. But I would say between 380 and 420 is pretty safe if you have a 500 gig with no games on it.
Yeah. So and you don't want to get it too close to capacity because you have what happened to me, which is I got the damn error. Mm-hmm. Which I lost everything. So you have to start install everything.
Wait, what?
That's what happens. You got this. It's this weird. I can't remember what it's called. It's some kind of error you get, and it's based. It's usually because you're close to capacity, and you have what do you call it? Automatic install, or whatever the thing is.
Oh my god!
And if you have that, you might end up getting screwed. So just in case,
I'm probably screwed. I haven't turned on my Xbox in a minute. But
I'm gonna have to be deleting.
Be careful.
I got it. I'm at like 98% right now.
I was at like 96. And
I'm at 98%, and I have a couple of games that I've had to delete that are right now not installed on my Xbox.
Yeah, and that's like
the 90s, man, because that's when you get that error.
Oh man!
So.
And Meza T, you like to play. You have multiple games going on before you finish one. So for you, deleting games to
it's not an option. It's not an option for me. The way I play games, it's just that's why. I have to get an external, which I don't want to spend the money to do, but
you shouldn't have to. That's the whole
That's what I'm saying. If I have 500 gigs, supposedly, that should be enough for a little while.
Well, but see, and that's the problem is that they're not compressing these games at all.
Exactly.
So people, and this is why people were bringing on, and not to bring Switch topic in here, but I'm just saying that's why people were concerned about the rumors going around about the file sizes for the SD cards or the game cards, because it's like we're in 2016 and got games that borderline over 100 gigs for just 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, that's just laziness.
Well, the NVIDIA even stated that they have all these algorithms for software and stuff, and Nintendo's known for great compression. So even if like I'm just assuming here, even if a third party's game's bigger than, let's say, Xbox One, PS4 versions are 60, 70 gigs, I wonder if they'll have a solution for them to get it
Hopefully,
onto
it's somewhere in the dev kit, and it's got to be easy as possible. Because
yeah.
if they have to do something different on the Nintendo console, they will not do it.
So
well, it depends on how much it sells, also. But yeah,
that could be an issue. But it also, if Nintendo meets them more than halfway, that might not be an issue. And for the people that are reacting to the standard card size is going to be 16 gigs, that just means that's the base card that they're going to have. If obviously there's going to be the option to have more, it's just going to cut into the profits of the game. If they're going to have to put a 64 gig card, I mean, obviously that's going to cost probably 3-4 times the fee for, to get, because they probably have to get the card from Nintendo,
because Nintendo's always been cost efficient.
Yeah, so that could be an issue there. I just think even take away the Switch, Call of Duty of all games to be like this new size leader, like the biggest game of all games, and that doesn't even fit on a Blu-ray disc. Like that's 50 gigs on a Blu-ray disc. So Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is 70. So that means you install 50 off the disc, and then you have to download the other 20. So it's
even without like. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it's not like, well, as we've learned this generation, it's not like we're actually playing games off the discs anyway. We're just downloading keys to unlock downloading it off the store. So that's how they can get over with this whole 130 gigs BS, because it's like, oh, you're just getting the key to unlock it so you can download it from the online store, which is why it drags forever. And
I don't believe you need Nintendo Magic to compress them and stuff. Like I make videos all the time, and I'll spit it out. I'll spit like, say, a 10-minute video. I'll spit it out, and it'll be close to 3 gigs. I run it through the compressor, and it's like 350 megabytes or something. Like, it should be something they can do as well. They don't have to be Nintendo ninjas to do this stuff. Some of this stuff, I just think some of it is just like they're spitting out the raw file. That's what I think.
That is what they're doing.
Yeah, they're spitting out the raw file, and that actually affects the what do you call it? The
quality.
Not the quality. How the game plays, like the
performance.
The performance, yes. Like, when you spit out a raw file like that, the performance it drags down unless because it takes more off of your RAM, on your system RAM, to read it, because it has to read it faster because it's such a big file. So like it benefits you to compress the thing. It benefits, because you get better performance out of the system.
Yeah, it sounds like it benefits the overall performance.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Maybe there's maybe some issue with the final quality. I don't know. It's probably minor, if even noticeable. But it's just like,
it's really like, I'm talking about video here, but the concepts of it are pretty similar. Like, you will lose some visual quality, but it's so minuscule when you compress. You can't really tell from the naked eye.
Yeah, and there's a lot of comments about people talking about SD cards and stuff. I don't know if it was official, but there was definitely a report that games will not be able to run off the SD card. Now, there is a way around that, and that's you can have all your games. Let's say you have 256 gig SD card or whatever. You can have all your games on there. You can't play them, but you could just transfer the game you want to play, and then this might take forever and be completely unintuitive and stuff. But you could have the games there and then just have to move it to the internal memory to play it. And that's an option for, if that's true, that the SD cards won't actually read games, because then you could just give your SD card to somebody else.
I thought it was the external that it wouldn't work, not the SD.
Yeah, because like even like a 3DS, like that reads games.
Yeah, the 3DS.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the report was about external hard drives.
No, because how are you gonna hook an external up to your tablet?
Yeah.
No, you would hook it to Pete. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why I'm saying that. That was what the report was about.
What happens when you lift the portable off the dock? That's hooked to an external.
Everything
I know.
That's like the Wii. Wii U. Everything that's on the
now,
hard drive, you can't play.
That's what the report was about. The report was about how you couldn't use external hard drives, not that you couldn't use.
Oh, I saw
SD
one
cards.
specifically
Yeah, I saw
about
that
the
too.
SD. They were it was a response. I don't know if it was official, but somebody was responding to the SD card, and they said games will not be able to play off the SD card, but you'd be able to have an SD card.
See, what would it do then? What does
Yeah,
the
it
SD card even
defeats the
do?
purpose.
Like I
Doesn't
said,
make
it
any
would hold
sense.
the games, but then you could just take your SD card, give it to somebody else, and then they have. Unless I don't know if SD cards can be locked to a specific system or not. That's what
Yeah, I don't believe that
So-
one at all.
It's just something to think about. But anyway, let's get on to actual horror games, scary
Yes.
games. So I want to get maybe their favorite horror game, and maybe if it's not the same, what's the scariest game you ever played? I know Rob loves the horror genre. I'm not
Yes, indeed.
as big into it, but I'm gonna just throw out best horror game for me is Resident Evil 4. Most of this based off nostalgia. I haven't played it in years, but to me, like that's the most memorable horror game for me. So, and I still remember that dude with the burlap sack on his head with the chainsaw. Like that was just really intense moment.
It
First
was
time.
so great. And the first time you get decapitated, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. So that's my favorite. So I guess we'll go to Rob next.
My favorite, it's not going to be exciting because it is also Resident Evil 4. But it's kind of a tie with like the GameCube remake of the first game in 2002. So it's really those two horror games.
See, I have that, and I played it just the one time, and I have no recollection of it. Like I remember.
Did you play it on the GameCube, or did you do like the more
GameCube.
recent? Yeah.
I have more memories of the PlayStation version, like because I only played the remake one time, one
Sure.
playthrough.
I honestly think it's better to have more memories of the PlayStation 1 because that was such a huge shift in gaming when that game came out. Like that game was a big deal. It's a bigger deal than the remake, was the original one on PlayStation. But they perfected that game so well with the GameCube remake that I still have to say, even though like the memories are better with the original, like the remake is by far the superior game.
Yeah, I remember it
think, so.
Oh yeah, it easily.
And because even beyond the looks too, Terminator, like there's so much new content. They really took the skeleton of that game and added so much new stuff and made it look amazing for the time. So that's like a really close second. But really, Resident Evil 4 is like, that's the best. In the horror genre, Resident Evil 4 can't be topped.
And I will admit that it is more action-y at times than horror, but overall I still call it a horror game, where 5 and 6 not so much.
Yeah.
Somebody just made a really funny comment though. Is Devand 23, the scariest game ever is Evolve. The scariest part the scariest part is when people bought it, they learned they need to buy $300 in DLC to get the full game.
Oh man.
Which is funny because that thing turns into like a free-to-play game
You
now.
ain't wrong. Yeah.
The scariest part was all them damn
That's so weird.
awards
to
it
me.
got from E3.
Yeah, all the best
I just saw that they turned off the servers or something for it, or they stopped.
Yeah, because they tried to turn the game into a free-to-play game, and people still weren't biting, and they were just like, fuck it.
Damn, that's sad.
This might seem like a silly question. I'm being serious. I don't remember if that was 2015 or 2016 that it came out.
2015.
I think it was actually
Jesus.
2014. I think
It was the end of 2014. Yeah.
You sure?
Was it? I thought it was the beginning of 2015.
No, it was in February.
Oh
of
no, it wasn't.
2015,
Yeah, it
I
was. It
believe.
was early 2015. That's right.
Oh,
It
that
was.
might be true. That was
really.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think
So
you
it's
guys are
it's only about 2 years old.
Yeah, it was like March or February, right?
Actually, not even that. It's like a year.
And it sucks. Like I played it for a little bit too. I gave it a shot because my brother and his buddies were really into it. And the concept is there. There is something to what they tried to do, but they didn't. Yeah, you were concept, the long concept, but they didn't hit a single thing right. They didn't do anything right in that game. Not even like, a couple things were okay and they should have just improved it. No, they did nothing right other than have a good idea on paper. That's all they did.
That was best of E3, man. It had been something. They're paying some people, man. They paid. Yeah. I'm convinced.
Right. And so when people like some people who poo-poo like some of the stuff, we play or whatever, and the guys that went out and bought that game and streamed it and all that stuff, you have no credibility when it comes to what I play. So shut up.
In your face.
Didn't you buy that game?
Yeah, I did. I bought it used, like a month or so after it came out. And like I said, my brother and his buddies were really into it, and they were like, "Hey, like you should pick it up. We'll all play together." And I was like, "Well, it's not going to hurt me to try it." And I was either like, because it was such a polarizing thing, my whole thing is like, I would at least want to know what it's like. I'd rather just know and see if it's good, and I have a reason to play with my younger brother and his friends. And it's like, okay, and I hated it. I mean, I returned it after 3 days. Wow. I absolutely hated it. But at least I gave it a shot, so I have hands-on experience. Yeah. When I tell someone it's garbage, it's because I played it.
I played the beta and I didn't care.
Who played it? Well, I'm not, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you're somebody who played that game and it was like, I guess championing it or whatever, and then you want to down. That's the thing. You want to down talk or whatever I play. Mm-hmm. That's where you don't have any credibility. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I forgot the game existed until I seen that comment, so that tells you a lot. But
we got some sidetrack from the scary game.
Enough of that scary game. Robert, well, what's your favorite horror game?
Okay,
the letter. Yeah,
mine. The letter. Yeah. That terrified me. I was like, "Wait, did I just spend money on that?"
Seriously. Like, I'm with you.
Oh,
good.
Oh well, it was like 10 minutes long. Maybe
it's 5. Embarrassing. Yeah. He's not even exaggerating. It's like 10 minutes long.
Maybe even less. Probably less.
How much was that game?
$2.
It's like $2.
Okay. All right.
But no, since I'm not, an old school gamer, it's more of a new thing. Outlast. I think Outlast is my favorite horror game. It's creepy as hell. Like straight from the very beginning, that thing just goes and scares you. It's like crazy.
You probably like Resident Evil 7 then.
I am. I'm excited for Resident Evil 7, even though I know it's not like the traditional ones. But I couldn't care less because I never played the other ones.
There you go.
So as a T, what's your favorite horror game?
This is tough. It's like Dead Space with Eternal Darkness. Like I genuinely just frightened to the point where I was scared to even play. This is gonna throw you guys completely off. Dino Crisis.
Oh, really? Capcom.
Yeah, from PlayStation 1. Like that. I don't know. It was a time thing because I remember like I was scared of like Jurassic Park, like especially at the end sequence, the raptors and stuff. Like I remember being really scared by that. And so to be able to play a game where you get in those scenarios and you can hear things, and it's really good sound design in that game. And you can hear the little scratching and the sounds of the raptors, all that stuff. Like, I remember just being genuinely frightened to play that game. I was all in. And I'm sure it had a lot to do with the era, too, because it didn't take a whole lot back then. Like, I don't get scared by horror games anymore. But, like, then, because of the limitations and stuff, like, it didn't take a whole lot to get you frightened. And I just remember being really scared by Dino Crisis.
Damn, and I'm feeling ashamed. I completely wasn't thinking Dead Space as a horror game.
Yep. It's, to be fair, it's not too late to change your answer. You are the host of the podcast, so if you want to.
I played Dead Space 3 times without playing another game from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
I played Resident Evil 4 one time through and started the second play. I mean, I guess, and technically I would have to say Dead Space being my favorite in the horror genre. That was one of my favorite games last gen, probably 2 or 3. Number 2 or 3.
Dead Space Extraction on Wii is pretty sweet too. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but
yeah, I had it. That was a good game. It's
one of the best games on Wii. I'll easily say that.
All right, so Terrell, what do you got?
I'll be real with you. I don't think I've ever really played that many horror games. So I was sitting there racking my brain. I still can't think of an old school game that I played. The
Fatal
oldest
Frame 5 is a horror game.
Well, no. Fatal Frame 5 is but that's like one of the only games I've actually
then it's
played.
Your favorite.
Well, it's my favorite horror game. But I was trying to also think of a game that actually legitimately scared me.
Sonic 06.
No, I didn't play that game. I just found out about
you lucky son of a bitch.
But the game I'm gonna pick that actually scared me and it caught me off guard. It was when I bought my PlayStation 3 in like 2010, and I played Batman Arkham Asylum for the first time, and it's the sequence in which you walk into the room and you see the dead bodies of like Bruce's parents and shit.
That was rough.
And what scared me was that you see Scarecrow, because I love Scarecrow's design in that game, but it scared the shit out of me because I didn't know what he looked like. So you just see him come under the table and stab you and with the damn syringes, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then you play the weird dream sequence thing where you got to hide from the light. And the first time I died, it scared the crap out of me. I legit, and it was one of those moments because I wasn't looking for it. I just said, "Oh, I got to take a break. I can't, not right now." So that's the oldest one. I mean, Final Frame 5 scared me more in terms of just making me paranoid, but that was the one that legit caught me off guard because I wasn't thinking about it. So,
all right. How about Meza T? Is your scariest game different than your favorite horror game?
Probably. Yeah. Because I said Dino Crisis, right? So my favorite horror game is damn. It's tough, man, because I've played so many. I'm gonna have to go with Eternal Darkness. That's probably my favorite. I remember just really getting really into it, and doing all the different paths to fighting the different gods or whatever. And I got really into that, and it was just so unique and like innovative with the the way it messed with you, the sanity meter and all that stuff.
It's an incredible game.
It was. I have it still. I have my GameCube copy still.
Me too.
And it wasn't like gameplay wise, it wasn't amazing, but everything else about it was good. So that's why I didn't put it.
Visuals were great. The sanity meter stuff was amazing.
Yeah, where it's telling you your
story. I love the story in that game, man. I loved it.
Yeah.
Your save file corrupted.
Yeah, that was the worst. Like I felt
mine
for
was all like, it's like we're gonna delete your save file. Do you want to proceed? And I was like, no. And then it started to delete anyway. I was like, no.
Walking into a room and just like slowly falling apart piece by piece.
Oh yeah, or you start to shrink and you're like, am I getting smaller? And you start to get closer to your TV. Like, what the hell?
It's probably good they didn't do a sequel right away because that stuff wouldn't have the same effect.
No.
Yeah, they'd have to do something a little bit different.
They came out with one now, it'd be obviously perfect.
Yeah. How about you, Rob? I don't know if your favorite was also your scariest.
So it's definitely not. I have to add, though, to my favorite, it's actually a three-way tie, Beyond Eternal Darkness, by the way. That was a good one, T. Silent Hill 2 also is in that conversation for me, with RE4 and the RE remake and Silent Hill 2. Those are the best horror games ever. Scariest, there's a lot that qualify. Resident Evil 2 is really terrifying. It's probably, I would say, the actual scariest of every Resident Evil game I've ever played is Resident Evil 2. PT is genuinely as scary as all the hype that year when that came out. It was a horrifying experience and a really good little demo thing. It's too bad the whole thing fell apart. But I would say the actual scariest experiences I've ever had is a tie of two Silent Hill games, and it's Silent Hill 4 and it's the original Silent Hill on the PlayStation. Those two games, to my core, scared me, and I could not finish either one when they were brand new games. I had to go back years later to beat those games. I couldn't do it. I was so scared. For the first game on the PlayStation with those shitty old graphics,
I know.
Man, you make it to the school and the little ghost children start running around in pitch black, and I was like, I'm out. I'm done. You win. Waste of money. I'm never playing it.
The music's what made the Resident Evil 1 scary, and the cutscenes were so poorly acted. They had the live action, and I think they had the in-game cutscenes, but I could never really get that scared other than the sound effects. And Malik JC said the mansion level from Mario 64. I mean, that was pretty cool and creepy.
Oh, that is so weird. I was my son, that's so weird. I just queued that up for my son to play because he wanted to play. It's horror, it's Halloween. He's like, I want to play that Boo's Castle level in Mario 64. And I just queued that up for him before we started this podcast.
Nice. Wasn't there like a level where like all these mirrors and it's like a spinning room? Was there mirrors in that?
You're talking about the merry-go-round part.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was scary. That was scary the first time I played it.
Robert, how about you? Was your scariest also your best or favorite?
That's tough because it's like there's a lot of games that just get me jump scared very easily. And so like it might be Outlast still, just because like again, that one is just constant like fear, like oh my god, like, and then you gotta hide, and then you hope they don't open the door, and you're like, oh my god.
See, I don't count, for me, even in movies, I don't count jump scares as scares. That's just startling. Like that's just loud noise or something. Like scary stuff to me is when you're laying in bed and you just start thinking about something. You know, that's where real fear comes from. But like a jump scare to me is just, it's kind of almost
Well, even
humorous.
that, like again, something like Outlast, when you see some guy walking, you hear the noises, you hear the steps, or like Alien Isolation, when you see the alien and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah. No,
like,
it's good. I agree with you. It's effective stuff for what it is.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but I'm
those
talking
kind of
like
stuff are great.
the games where it's like tries to draw you close to your computer screen and then has a jump scare.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's
Yeah,
not
I
scary.
agree. And honestly, even in movies, I really hate that stuff too.
Yeah.
It's such a fake way to be scary.
And a lot of
It's like-
times it's not even something scary. It's like somebody's
It's
walking
like a
in the
bird.
room, and
Like,
it's
"Oh,
yeah,
bird."
it's a cat, it's a dog. It's like
Yeah, because it's a fake out. That's
Some
the
kind of
thing.
Yeah.
flash,
Scary, yeah.
memory flash thing, and it kind of
Yeah.
it's not scary that a cat just jumped out at you. Like that's humorous.
lame.
But
Well, cats are terrible creatures, so that's
I
pretty
love them.
scary.
I love.
Can I get
cats.
some honorable mentions real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not really a horror game, but it definitely creeped me out when I first played it. Shadow Man back in the day.
Oh yeah, I have that on the N64.
Oh man,
I
it
don't
creeped
know
me
that.
out.
Shadow Man. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Shadow Man. It's one of the best N64 games.
You need
gonna
the
look it
RAM
up.
The
expansion.
definitive one is Dreamcast one though. You
Yeah.
want the best visuals.
Because even with
I'm looking it up, right?
even with the RAM expansion, the frame rate was
It's kind of muddy,
ridiculous.
and the frame rate is not good.
And I got stuck. I couldn't figure out. I had to give up. But
Indigo Prophecy.
Oh yeah, Quantic
Indigo
Dream.
Prophecy was awesome. Quantic Dream, yes. So I want to throw those out there.
I can't believe Robert didn't say.
I want to say Until Dawn.
Yeah, Until Dawn.
Yeah, I thought about that too, actually, dude.
Well, no, but that's the thing is that we can count that as horror games, obviously, right? I gotta say Until Dawn because Hayden Panettiere.
Oh my god.
I'll
It's
say
been a
it because
while.
it was a good video game.
Well,
but-
that too, of course. But
I would say
been a
it's
while.
not. That game wasn't good because it really wasn't scary. It was just a
No.
really good game for what it did. It was just
Yeah.
a good. It was just a
It
good
was like
scary
a
game.
campy horror film type atmosphere.
Yeah,
Look,
it was like
that's what
trying to
looked
be like an I Know What You Did Last Summer
Yeah.
kind of thing, and it was really awesome. It was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, I loved
So-
it. I thought it was great.
Castlevania 2 also scary.
Oh God, I had nightmares over that.
That game just scared
A
us.
terrible curse has befallen you tonight. I was like, no,
I
turn this
Yeah.
game off.
I listed 3. Now that Dead Space, I remembered that. But actually, just actual terror and afraid to walk around the corner was Fatal Frame Made into Blackwater for me. Like
Really?
just the dread. And I played it with the lights off, man, at midnight on Halloween for the first time, and it's like there's some unsettling stuff going on. Though like after a while, once I started playing it more and more, it just became almost less about scares and horror and just about the camera and getting the high points and all that. But the initial, probably like the first time you see the tall lady in the woods, like that
Yeah,
stuff.
because she killed me and scared the shit out of me. Because I was like, I thought it was a ghost I'm supposed to take a picture of in the background, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, I'm dead. What the fuck?
Yeah, like to me that was just actually creepy. Where I didn't want to go further in the game because I knew something was up there. And then for me, Zombie U, like I know that game got a lot of crap. I was just playing it last night, and
Zombie U was pretty good.
Not only does it, it doesn't look amazing, but it looks better than I remembered. Like the whole point of the cricket bat was to add tension and stuff, and like genuinely just scary with the limited light. Like it. A lot of people said that it was the Wii U's lack of horsepower, but I think it was an actual on purpose.
We've seen way better
design.
looking games on Zombie U. Obviously, that's not the problem.
Yeah.
I think that was a design choice to have it look the way it did and have you only be able to see especially in the pitch dark.
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
It wasn't crystal clear. It wasn't
The
like
dirty camera thing.
Yeah,
the dirty camera thing was cool. I'm glad you brought that up because not only is it one of my favorite horror games ever, but even as a Resident Evil fan, and Juice, tell me if you agree with this, nothing about the gameplay is like Resident Evil, but I think the way that game makes you feel like unsettled and nervous and it's really quiet constantly, that to me had the tension of old Resident Evil.
Yeah, I felt.
And I love
I
that
agree.
about it.
I agree. I can't believe I forgot Zombie U.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's so
felt the
underrated.
tension and dread like everywhere I went.
Yeah.
Like every corner.
It's very nerve wracking.
The only
The
time,
atmosphere is so good in that game. It is
yeah,
so
like
good.
there's a few times where they just put you in like unwinnable situations a couple times, and it's like it's frustrating when you die. I played it on normal or whatever the first time, and it takes like 7-8 cricket bat hits to kill a zombie, which yeah, you could say, you know, it's more challenging, but it takes away from me, for me, the experience, because it's just like, how many times do I got to hit this zombie? So if you play it on chicken, it's like 2 to 3 hits, and then you can do the finishing hit. That feels like what it should have been. And so I actually find it way more enjoyable that way. And Retro Death said they
like Negan from Walking Dead.
Oh man, don't bring back those memories, man.
No,
the pain is too recent.
I don't think Zombie U really had too many jump scares, but Retro Death.
I think it did. I think
they had a couple. They had a few.
Yeah,
I think I had a few.
And I see Retro Death mentions too many, and I actually think they had the right amount. Like
I
get that, but I think it had a good amount.
I don't remember a ton, but yeah, to me, like that was just a scary game where you creeped around and like your flashlight battery was getting low, and it's like, oh shit, like. And then Dead Space was genuinely scary. I played it with a good 5.1 setup, and it's like that's one of the best uses of surround sound in any media, movies, games. Nothing has ever achieved that level of just stuff walking behind you. Half the time, it never even jumped down. Like you'd hear something in the ductwork behind you, and you turn around and just wait, and it never came out.
So Dead Space 2 did it even better, even though I still think the first is the better game.
Yeah, Dead Space 2 turned a little less into the horror and a little more into
a little more actiony.
I gotta tell you, Juice, you're gonna hate me for bringing this up, and even though you'll never get a chance to try this on your sound system, the best example of that, no bullshit, is the Resident Evil 7 demo. That is the number one reason why it's scary is the sound. It is so effective. And I mean, when we first tried playing it, when the demo first happened, like the day after E3, we started it, and I've got nice speakers too. It's only a couple channels, but it's still nice speakers. And we started that, and it was so exciting. We were pitch black, and 5 minutes in, all of the sounds creaking around you. It was like, turn the lights on. I am not going to play this anymore unless the lights are on. It was so, and I wasn't even playing alone. My girlfriend and I were in the same room, and we were so scared because of the sound. You would appreciate that one aspect, man. It was so cool. So
the best horror movies have great sound design, and that's what a lot of people don't think about.
Minimal music is for horror.
Oh, that's key. I think and T, you're a filmmaker. Tell me if you agree, but especially in horror movies, so many filmmakers abuse the use of sound and music, and it's like, no, it's scarier when there's none of it.
Exactly.
And it's scary when you don't see the thing that's chasing people too.
Yep.
But I will say,
Ouija was like that.
People get caught up in the jump scares and like, you know,
fake
stupid
horror.
music, and
it's fake.
Yeah, and gore.
That's why I decided to watch The Conjuring after I heard like no jump scares.
No Did you like it? Because I love that movie. Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Did you see the second one also? Or
I have not. Okay. To me, like It Follows is probably my favorite horror movie of the last 10 years. But that actually used like a really cool synthesized music score to kind of build the tension. So that was an example of when music can actually benefit that kind of movie. But overall, though, I mean, I think, like I said, Dead Space, Zombie U, Fatal Frame, definitely all scary. And I never played the Silent Hill series. I always wanted to, but
you would love this. Again, the sound design is the number one reason those games are scary. So you would like that aspect too. So.
But anyway, Rob, you want to do you got a game planned?
Yeah, we want to do game time?
Game time.
All right. Bizarro game of the week. Okay, so it's game time again. And this one is really straightforward and simple, so I think we're going to appreciate that. The consequences are nowhere near as dire as the last two games that I did
thank you.
Yeah, so that part's cool. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Kind of quick fire status we're going here. This game is called Pick the Better Game. So it's very straightforward, very easy. I'm going to go through. I took a completely random smattering of a lot of games, going back to like the 8-bit NES days, going up to games from current. And I've taken basically just two games. I'm going to read everyone a list of Game A and Game B. and everyone is going to basically pick which game they think is the better game. Now, a couple of things. This is so random. There is no way everyone has played every game here. In fact, I guarantee no one has played all of these games. Okay. So we're kind of going to just basically go off of the best of your knowledge, the best of your ability. Maybe both games are games you didn't play. So just kind of roll with it, and just based on what you've heard, based on the setting you like, whatever. I mean, we've all played most of these games, but there's going to be a lot of games that people just haven't played. And it's just kind of for fun. We're just going to roll with it. You stake your claim. I think game A is the better game, or game B is the better game.
Cool.
And a lot of games are going to show up more than once, so I have a couple of different weird mix matches. This is really random. And I am actually going to be playing as well. And the main reason is so that we don't have ties. So we are going to definitively choose which game is the better of each matchup. Okay?
Right.
And I'm gonna do a random order for each one, so the last person always has the potential of being the tiebreaker. And I'll just say you pick, now you pick, and maybe I'll go first or whatever. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. All right, we're going quick fire. These are really random, so this is gonna be pretty fun to see how it all plays out. So the first two games, BioShock and Halo. Ms. T, which game do you prefer?
Oh, Halo.
Juice.
BioShock.
Terrell.
BioShock.
Robert.
Halo.
I'm gonna go BioShock, which means BioShock is the winner.
You guys are lame, man. Lame.
Or one correct.
BioShock.
For what it's worth, I prefer Halo as a series, but the first BioShock is an incredible game.
Man, that repetitive nonsense. All right, go ahead.
Kill him.
BioShock had some scary moments too.
In retrospect, that one was pretty unsettling.
Yeah.
Dude, Big Daddies, man, they'll give you a heart attack. That's scary stuff.
Oh, hold on. We were only talking about the one game though.
Yep,
Yeah,
these are
the
individual
one game.
titles, not series.
Okay,
Not
see,
series.
I probably would have gone BioShock then. But
Well, then it's still
you
would have
lame.
won. So.
Get out of here, man. I'm by myself.
Wow.
I'll be more specific, I promise. So, all right, next we're gonna start to get hard pretty quick here. Super Metroid or Metroid Prime? Robert.
Metroid Prime.
Terrell.
Super Metroid.
I'm gonna go Metroid Prime. Juice.
Oh.
It's hard. There will be a lot of these, by the way.
Is that the Wii version or GameCube version?
Oh shit. We'll just say Wii version.
I'll take Metroid Prime.
And T.
Super Metroid, man.
It was tough.
Metroid Prime still wins.
It was close. I mean, I could have won either one, honestly.
Yeah, that's a really, really tough one. Oh man. Okay. Next game. Grand Theft Auto 5 or Red Dead Redemption? Terrell.
Fuck.
That's easy.
Red Dead Redemption.
I'm gonna say GTA 5. T.
Red Dead.
Robert.
GTA 5.
Oh, Juice.
Red Dead.
Oh!
Take the GTA 5 and go on somewhere.
I thought you were gonna go GTA 5. I'm surprised.
Fuck that overrated trash.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
God damn.
Savage.
All right, this one is actually really funny because we know what Juice is going to say. Dead Space or Resident Evil 4? Juice.
Dead Space.
Oh, damn. Robert.
Resident Evil 4? I
Good
guess.
answer. Is that your answer?
He
Robert?
guessed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That'd be my answer because I haven't played either. So.
Gotcha. T.
Dead Space.
Ooh, I'm going to go Resident Evil 4. So, Terrell, you're a tiebreaker.
Resident Evil 4 because it looks more interesting for me.
And it's the better game. All right, next game. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker or Super Mario Brothers 2 on the NES? T.
Come on, man. Mario 2.
Ooh, Juice.
I gotta go with damn, I only played Mario 2 for a couple times. I'll say Mario 2.
Mario 2. Okay, Robert.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker represent.
And Terrell.
Mario 2.
I'm also going to say Mario 2. So the clear winner. Love it. That's a really good thing to hear. All right. We're going to go for another heartbreaker here, you guys.
The black sheep.
It is definitely the black sheep. There's another one of those games on here, too, and I know you'll know which one that is. This one's going to be hard. Super Mario 64 or Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo? Terrell.
Super Mario World.
Robert.
That's tough, actually, because I'm gonna say Mario 64 though.
I'm also gonna go Mario 64. Juice.
I mean, playing them both today Yeah, I say Super Mario World, but
Hey.
64 had the bigger impact, but World to me is a better game today.
Gotcha. So, T.
I'm the tiebreaker, son.
Oh.
My favorite console of all time is the super. I can't even say it. Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64. So it's Mario 64 all day, son.
Without question, I love seeing that happen. I'm going to be picking some mix and match here. Let's do Fire Emblem Awakening and Final Fantasy VII. So,
Bitch.
Juice.
Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem.
T.
What was the other one?
Final Fantasy VII and Fire Emblem Awakening. What's the better game? What's the better game?
Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, shit. I'm going with Fire Emblem Awakening. And I think, Terrell, you're the last? Or did I do Robert?
I didn't play either, but I'm gonna say Fire Emblem Awakening.
Okay, then Terrell.
Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah.
Man, you got some Nintendo facts, man.
Oh my God.
I regret nothing.
All right, this will be an interesting matchup. Uncharted 2, Hyrule Warriors. Juice.
Hyrule Warriors.
I knew you were going to say that. Robert.
Uncharted 2.
Terrell.
Our Warriors.
I'm going to go Uncharted 2. T.
This
Tiebreaker.
is tough, but I got to
This
go
is
with Uncharted 2, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love it. I did not expect that, actually, so that makes me very happy. All right, next up, Kid Icarus on the NES or Zelda 2 on the NES? T.
This is a no-brainer for me. Zelda Deuce.
Yeah, Zelda Deuce. I'm going to also say Zelda Deuce. Terrell.
I'm just a category because I'd be more likely to finish it.
I had a feeling that was going to be your guess. Robert.
Kid Icarus.
Oh, tiebreaker, Juice.
Even though I didn't like it that much, I'll say Zelda 2.
Yeah. Because I feel like almost everything I'm picking is winning, so I feel like I'm good luck here. That makes me very happy. All right. Assassin's Creed or Halo 2? Terrell.
Shit.
Assassin's Creed 1?
Assassin's Creed 1.
Assassin's Creed.
The worst one.
Ooh, Juice.
I'll say Halo 2.
Yeah, I think Assassin's Creed was pretty not good. I'm going to also say Halo 2.
If it was Assassin's Creed 2, I would have picked that.
I thought about doing that because everyone said that one was good, but I never tried it, so it didn't occur to me.
It's better than Halo 2 for me. But
Oh, man. Robert.
Halo 2.
Ooh, I think it's, yeah. T?
This is easy, man. Ass Creed, come on. Halo 2 it is.
Gotcha. All right.
is that a sweep?
No,
That was...
No, somebody said.
No, I think Terrell said Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
Yeah, I
gotcha.
said Assassin's Creed, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, we haven't had a sweep yet. So a couple more here. They're going to start to get a little bit harder. We're going to stay old school with this one. Final Fantasy VIII or Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo? Juice.
Chrono Trigger.
T.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
It's a really tough one.
Because 8 was like, all right.
Is that your jam? Because people go back and forth on
8 was my jam. Yeah, like.
Ooh.
Chrono Trigger was good, though.
It was. Chrono Trigger. I can't.
Oh.
Are we going to compare the winners? Are we going to pair up the winners after all
Nope,
this?
I'm switching back. Final Fantasy 8. Sorry.
Are you sure? Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer for final.
Heard that tap on the table, so let's go.
Juice, I didn't think about that, but I could make it a little.
Yeah, that would have been
different one
perfect.
next
If
week.
you do like a lot, like whatever
Like,
it's called.
like a bracket.
Well, you could,
Yeah,
if we were
bracket,
keeping
bracket.
track, we could have compared the
I mean,
the
I'm
winners.
keeping track, so I can do something like next week.
Well, this is being recorded, yes?
Yeah, but I say we have
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
recorded.
true.
Yeah, so we'll do an update next week. Well, I think it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so I think Robert, did you pick? I think Robert and
I'm
Terrell.
gonna say Chrono Trigger. Never played both, but I'm gonna say because that's the first one.
Okay, Terrell.
I'm gonna say Chrono Trigger.
Well, I say Chrono Trigger too, so there you go. And that was almost, it could have been a clean sweep if T didn't change his mind.
T flip flopping, Nintendo.
Well, we got to have a clean sweep. What's so good about that?
I mean, it's just good to see someone get their ass
That's
kicked.
because T's a dirty motherfucker. That's why.
I didn't know all you guys were going to go. I should have known because you're a bunch of Nintendo. I didn't know.
Oh, man. Okay, we're gonna get into a couple really difficult ones here, guys. This is probably the hardest one for me. Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 3. Ms. T.
It has to be 3 for me.
Terrell.
3.
Robert.
Metroid Prime 3.
Well, I'm going to throw the wrench and go Metroid Prime 2, which was
look
very
at
hard
you.
for me to decide. So, Juice.
What about the
corruption,
clean sweep,
baby?
man?
Yeah.
It's all about the
I know,
corruption.
I knew where Juice was going. And so
I thought we were gonna.
you messed up the clean sweep that time.
Mhm.
You're the 31 now.
Oh, man. Okay, what was the next one I was going to do? Okay, Super Mario Brothers 3 on the NES or Super Mario World? Robert. Robert.
That's easy.
Is it?
It's not.
That's not easy.
Which one, Robert?
Oh, Super Mario World.
Juice.
I'll go World.
Terrell.
Shit. World.
I love the cape. It's my
So does it
favorite.
even matter what I say?
it doesn't, especially because I'm also going to say World. So, T.
Wow. Well, it won't be a clean sweep this time either because
shit.
Super Mario 3, man, it was
You
amazing.
bitch, man. You being a bitch.
It was amazing. The music, like
I do
that
like.
calypso music. Come
World
on, man.
also has amazing music.
They're pretty much even for me.
Power ups.
They really are. They really are.
They're pretty close, yeah.
To me, Super
I
Mario
agree.
World had that first 16-bit feel kind of to it, so that's
So
why
y'all
I
some
decided to give it
your
that.
graphics hoes now. Your
I'm a
graphics.
graphics
I like
whore, yeah.
the cape. Is my favorite.
The more bits, the better.
Oh man,
Feathers
I
my
sold
favorite
out Mario for
And
graphics.
yeah, the cape was legit too, Juice. I agree with that. So.
Ain't nothing beating that Tanuki suit. Nothing beating it.
All right, here we go. We're going more modern on this one. Star Fox Zero or Kirby and the Rainbow Curse? Terrell.
Please, Star Fox.
Ooh, I did not expect that. Robert.
That's incredibly easy. It's got to go to my pink man,
Oh,
Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Oh, you a hater, Robert. You a hater.
damn. Well, I'm going to go Star Fox Zero. Juice, what do you say?
God, they're like dead heat for me.
Yeah, I feel I thought this was going to be a good one.
Kirby, just because it was something different. It was something I hadn't really played.
All right, then. Ms. T for the tiebreaker. What do you say?
All I gotta say is do a barrel roll.
Do a motherfucking barrel roll. I love it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know why, Terrell. For some reason, I really thought you might pick Kirby. So that
No, I didn't even buy the game.
Really? I must have forgot that. I must have totally had that wrong.
I'm still stuck on Mario World. Y'all some bitches,
I'm
man.
gonna take that one into next week.
Like-
Like y'all, motherfucker.
How many games is a cape in?
One.
How many games is Tanuki suit in?
A lot.
Shut the fuck up.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Well,
but
no, the cape's in
overall,
2,
the game,
Mario
I
Maker.
think it's better.
Oh, that don't count. That don't
Tanuki's
count.
only in what, 3?
That don't count.
The
Mario.
Tanuki.
It was
No,
in Super
it's in
Mario
3D
Land,
World.
3D Land, and 3D World,
Yeah, it's in quite a few. And 3. Yeah.
and 3. So it was in 3 games.
Yeah. So they know what the best one is. That's all I'm saying.
So
Oh, God.
speaking of Mario, Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door or Mario 3D World? Robert, have a heart attack.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
come on, bro.
No way! Why would
You gotta
do that?
pick one, man.
Oh god! Yo, you just threw the hardest like wrench in my heart.
He's dying over here, folks. Somebody need to call Dr. Mario.
Yo.
I need a doctor.
tough.
And the only doctor
Oh my
that
god, that's incredibly tough.
What are you gonna pick?
What
This
the
is
hell?
Stake
Oh
your
my
claim.
god! Wait, I'm gonna go last. You guys say.
You want, I'll give you this one out. This is the one out you get, Robert. We'll come to you last. T.
Damn you. Can you
All right, Terrell.
So we saw Mario 3 and
No, Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door or Mario 3D World on the Wii U.
3D World.
Yeah,
Oh man,
Paper
I
Mario
was thinking of you, Robert.
God dang.
Oh.
That is not fair.
that's incredibly tough.
I'll say 3D World.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 3D
Whoa.
World too.
It's because you ain't play
Whoa.
Paper Mario, son. That's easy for you.
We got 2 worlds.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
son.
have to say my skinny boy Paper Mario.
Yeah, I'm going Paper Mario too
Oh
because
shit! So I'm the tiebreaker.
Mhm.
You going Paper Mario, T?
yeah, Paper Mario.
Well, I do like my doors 1,000 years old, but I'm gonna have to go with 3D World on this one.
Hey.
It's like so close. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Oh,
I was
man,
just
that
looking impact wise. That's
that
where
was
I
a good
went.
one.
So
Yeah,
I'm like 1,000-Year Door was the definitive Paper Mario game. So.
gotcha. All right, we're down to the last handful, you guys. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck
What
you,
was it?
dude.
Wait, what was it?
Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh, that's easy.
And
Real
I'll go
easy.
Super Mario
first.
Brothers 3.
Okay, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Man.
I'm gonna go first, and I'll throw a wrench in things, and I'll say Sonic 2 because I do love that game. Juice.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know. All right, so you're saying picking Mario 3. Terrell, you got to give an answer.
Fucking, see, that's my favorite Sonic game, son.
Come on.
It's the best Sonic game. That's
You
why.
know what he's gonna say, Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic 2. Come on now.
Yo, so Mr. T, what do you say?
It's really close to me. Don't get it twisted. It is really close. But I have to go Mario.
That's fair.
Just by a hair. Like
Fucking Nintendo fag.
just by a hair. I just prefer the Mario gameplay over Sonic, and that's probably why. But Sonic 2 is greatness. So.
Yeah, it is.
It is greatness. Okay. We're going to get down. Oh, I've got one more fun one, then 3 really difficult ones. So the last fun one, Mortal Kombat 2 or Street Fighter 2? Juice.
Oh, I'll take Street Fighter 2.
T?
Mortal Kombat, what? Just
Mortal
the original?
Kombat 2. No,
Oh, Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2, Street Fighter 2. Which is way harder. That's why I took
Oh,
it.
you bastard.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
I'm going Mortal Kombat 2.
Okay. I'm also going to go Mortal Kombat 2. Even though Street Fighter 2 is the technically better game,
Yeah.
I just have fonder memories.
It was 20
of Mortal
versions of
Kombat.
Street Fighter 2, so that's why I'm cheating. And
Yeah, that's a fair cheat, I think. I'm with you on that one. Terrell.
Street Fighter 2.
Ooh, tiebreaker, Robert.
Mortal Kombat 2.
Mortal Kombat!
I mean, that was a great game.
It was
Yeah, they
greatness.
were
I'll
both so
take-
good.
Mortal Kombat.
Robert, don't ever do that again.
What he means is do it every time you get a chance.
Oh, boy.
All right, so here we go. These last 3 are going to be really difficult. Super Mario Galaxy and Metroid Prime. I'm
Wow.
picking Metroid Prime. Terrell.
I'm gonna say Super Mario Galaxy.
Robert.
That's stupidly easy for me.
I know
Super
it is.
Mario Galaxy.
All right, so T.
God damn it.
That's a really hard one. You're going to hate the next 2 also.
Pure game. I had to go with just pure, just joyous gameplay. Mario Galaxy.
Juice.
Metroid Prime.
And I think the Galaxy still win there, though, right?
Yeah.
We win.
Man.
Galaxy just won by a hair, huh?
Yeah, I kind of
It
thought
was so
might, but
close for me.
I had to go with my main game, Prime. All right, next game. Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario 64. Terrell.
Fuck. Probably. Shit.
Especially for you, this has got to be extra tough.
Because
hard
like
one.
I don't have a lot of memories with either, playing a lot of either, but if I'm going by gameplay, Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie. Juice.
It's me, Mario.
It's a no-brainer for Juice.
I'm also going to say Mario 64. Robert, what do you say?
I'm going to say Super Mario 64.
Oh, that's going to be the winner. But T, what do you pick?
I'm actually doing a video on this Banjo-Kazooie versus Mario 64.
Oh, are we
And-
spoiling it?
Yeah, kind of. I don't mind. It's still going to be a
Okay.
good video, and it is Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, I had a feeling that's what you were going to pick, but that's a really tough comparison. I
It's
thought
tough.
That'd be a lot of fun.
It's by a hair, too.
I'm glad to know you're making a video actually on it. I'm excited.
Yes,
to
I
see
am.
it. Okay, I forgot I actually have 2. Here's one last non-Nintendo one before we do the final one. It's going to be Uncharted 1 and Halo 1. T, what do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Non-Nintendo exclusives facing off.
I just like Halo 2 so much better, and I really liked Uncharted 1. I'm going to go with Uncharted 1.
Okay. Juice.
Halo 2 or Halo, yeah.
Halo.
Mhm.
Terrell.
Uncharted.
Ooh. I'm going to also say Uncharted. So
And
Robert, what do you say?
to me, Uncharted 1 demolishes Halo.
Ooh, I don't know if it's demolished.
I don't know about demolishes,
Yeah,
but
that is
But
reckless.
Halo 1 was like the same corridor every single turn
I
you
know,
turned
but-
it.
yeah.
Ooh.
But when it was
To me,
new,
to
that's
me,
bad,
Uncharted
though.
1.
Yeah.
So I see. I mean, Uncharted 1 is the better game for sure. All right. And the last one of the
And it's
evening,
fugly.
I had like 50 more of these. I had to pare this down even to this list. I had so many freaking games. The last one, Pikmin 3 and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Oh, you
Juice.
son of a.
It's a tough one.
Who's going first?
Juice, you are.
Tropical Freeze.
Tropical Freeze, Robert.
Oh wait, what? I was doing 3D World for a second.
You could just
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Ooh, well, I very confidently picked Pikmin 3. Terrell, what do you say?
Fuck. See, I played both of those, and those were like my first real experiences for both of those franchises in a while.
It's a tough one.
Fuck.
And honestly, T,
It's close in the chat, too.
Yeah. You two can even converse because you guys are going to decide the winner here. So.
God damn it!
I don't care who picks the what.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious for me.
Yeah, I have a feeling
You go first, T. You go first.
My goatee for 2014.
Oh, I am.
Tropical Freeze, son.
Oh,
so I've already lost it. So I'm
Yeah.
just
at least it gets 2 votes then. So there we go. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Man, y'all know
game.
All right.
All right,
To
chill out.
Pikmin 3. So there we go. We have officially determined the best games that everyone can play. Boom.
I threw a couple of them together here real quick.
Oh, okay.
I'm on 2 additional games or pairs of games. So we're gonna start with Ms. T, Mario 64 or Metroid Prime.
God damn.
Damn.
Oh, you just did that knife in. I can't conceivably pick. See, like, because Metroid Prime isn't even my favorite Prime game. The first one, it was greatness. That's not taking anything away from its greatness, but Mario 64, man, it was a game changer. I can't. Mario 64.
All right, Robert.
Mario 64.
Man.
Terrell.
Mario 64.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
that's already. How many we got?
Crazy.
Where are we at?
That's
2?
3.
That's 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
Prime didn't change the game, man. Prime didn't change the game.
Okay.
Prime
I'm gonna
changed
say
the game.
Metroid Prime. Rob,
Me
what do
too.
you say?
Oh, Metroid Prime. Well, nothing disparaging to Mario 64 because it was a game changer.
Yeah.
But I think Prime was also a game changer
All
at
right.
the time that it came out.
Here's the last one, and then we're moving on to our main topic.
The finale.
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time
You motherfucker.
versus The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Oh.
Arguably the
Ocarina
best
of
3D
Time.
and the best 2D.
I mean, it kind of is.
God dang. Boy,
Even though it's not my absolute favorite Zelda game, like
y'all gonna make me
it's
slap
like-
your mama.
So, Robert.
Ocarina of Time.
Rob.
oh man, I'm not ready to stake a claim on this. I should have put more Zelda games together. I have to say, oh god, I wasn't ready for this. I'm gonna go Ocarina of Time,
Damn.
which is
I know
really,
T-
really hard to do.
You know what T's going.
T's going Ocarina of Time.
I play and beat this game once a year, every year.
Terrell,
Basically.
I know
I was
you-
gonna say Link to the Past.
Yeah, that's what I say. I thought it'd
That's
been a little
almost
bit harder.
that almost is the better game.
The reason why I say that is because Link to the Past was the perfected 2D Zelda.
It was, yeah.
Whereas like Ocarina of Time to me is pretty rough as a 3D Zelda.
Game changer.
And that's you guys are both right with how you say that about Ocarina of Time. I think what's tricky for me is similar to like some other games. I think that the better made probably is A Link to the Past for that exact reason. Like it was like the best example of that kind of Zelda, and Ocarina of Time was new for 3D. But the memories were just so much better of Ocarina, and it changed how I thought gaming was ever going to be.
I don't know
So
when
it's
y'all
like-
played Ocarina of Time. I'm guessing Rob played it when it came out, 98.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Oh, yeah. That whole summer.
It was just a different time. It was just a different.
Yeah.
I
was
still
great.
remember that. I had Christmas lights up in my bedroom.
I remember. I tell people all
man,
the
it's
time.
the best.
I remember this. I got the. I got a pre-order bonus. It was a Zelda shirt with all gold. The logo and all that stuff. I can remember the smell on that shirt,
Oh, man.
on that gold. Like that's how in tune to that game I was. Like it was. Nothing changed. Nothing will change.
I'll never forget. I know you guys, Juice and T, can relate to this too. The first time you finally get out of Kokiri Forest and you walk into Hyrule Field, and then the camera was like, "Look at this huge place you can
Oh
go to."
man,
I was like, "What is this? This can't be real."
what is
The
this
day,
sorcery?
the sunset, and the
This
moon come up.
wizardry, yes. Oh my god.
Crazy. All right, so we're running a little long here in the podcast, but let's get on to this Wii U games making the switch, and this is how I want to approach it for people listening. For the Team Juice here, we're gonna pretend that Nintendo hired us as kind of a group to go over some of the Wii U exclusives and just pros and cons of bringing it over to the Switch. For what we know about the Switch, obviously we don't know everything, but what we know what it is at this point. And I was gonna do like a top 5 games you don't want remastered, and it's when I was doing that, I did kind of just a logic pros and cons, and some of the games that I would have said no way actually were the front runners for getting ported. So I thought maybe it'd be interesting for us to run down some of the top like Wii U exclusives. I did leave out 3D World just because that's probably one of the oldest games on the Wii U, and that they showed an obvious sequel or obvious new Mario game that I would think is pretty far along. So I think I just left that one off the list. So we'll do pros and cons, and this is going to be just simple logic for what we know. Not like opinions and stuff. I mean, there will be slight opinions here or there, but for most of it's going to be logically. And then at the end of that, for each game, we'll just say yes or no. What would you decide? Like, what's your gut tell you? Taking in other factors. So we're gonna start. This will be the test one here. We're gonna start with Yoshi's Woolly World, which was one of the ones on my list that actually was like the highest when I went over the pros and cons. So I'll name one if you guys can come up with some. Woolly World, I think, only needs a single screen, so the dual screen there's no negative to going to the Switch. So having it just on a single screen works perfectly, and the local 2-player works great with the little Joy-Cons, where you could break one off, hand one to the other person, and play 2-player, which that game is 2-player local already. So those are 2 pros that I came up with. Anybody else, anything coming to you, feel free.
I mean, other than like improved visuals, which really the game really doesn't even need much improved visuals.
Yeah, I put that as
it looked really good.
I put it as a con that there's really no room for
that might kind of
improve in visuals.
Be it.
So that actually works against it. So
I see.
And since this is the first one, I already had a couple like Woolly World would play fine as a portable game. You just play a level and you can save it and get out. Doesn't have any online focus. There's no need for really online. So those are the other pros that work in its favor. So you talked about the visuals. I think there's no room. I mean, going to 1080 over 720 is not. I mean, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell the difference, really.
Yeah.
So that would actually be a con because that works against there being a benefit to the Switch version.
Yeah, because you couldn't actually sell people on like the graphics, like, well, we've ported Yoshi's Woolly World and it looks so much better on the Switch, so you should buy it. Like, you can't sell people on that.
I have a pro. You could take the DLC from the 3DS version and put it on the Switch version.
Yep.
That's my con, is that they have a 3DS version.
Yeah, that's another con. So
it's like there's already 60 million people on there that they could play it.
That was my con too.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest con, and then
you could say a pro is the amiibo support. The fact that it would, because they confirmed amiibo support for the Switch, right?
Yeah,
so
and I think
you could use that still on the Switch version.
Well, I mean,
the game sold
they did.
what?
Yeah, I think they did.
I mean, I always thought they would be, but I don't know if they confirmed it or not.
Yeah, they did. And the other thing, I think the game sold like 1.5 million, which was pretty good for the Wii U, but the quality of the game, there's definitely room for more sales to a bigger audience, which the 3DS version kind of kills that. So I think those balance out. So
well, I'm sure that game made money though, based on how much it sold. That game made them a lot of money, I would think.
Now, while I'll say it wouldn't, I don't think it'd be a detriment. I don't think it would be like, oh my god, that's so offensive they have that game. But to me, I would vote no on porting that, just because I don't think there's going to be a big audience really beyond what already bought it.
Yeah, I vote no too.
Anybody going to say yes on that one?
No vote
No,
for
I
me.
don't think really.
I vote no on Measurement Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah, I figured that. That's why I started there. So the next one, and I don't have anything written for this because I didn't play the game, and I'm going to rely on Terrell and Meza T for this one. Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Now, it just came out this year, but what would be some of the pros to bringing it to the Switch from?
Well, if we're going from the obvious, the game's so like trash on the Wii U. I think the better thing is improving the fucking frame rate that drops when you're doing certain special attacks.
Mm-hmm.
The frame rate just fucking crawls.
And it also seems like they could bump up the visuals. Even with the art style, I think they could bump it up and make it look, with some extra horsepower, could also make it look significantly better. What about dual screen? Would you be missing something?
Kind of, because that's where you get all your text messages from your supporting cast. That's also where your map is.
So you'd be pausing the game a lot.
Yeah, and even
that'd be a con.
It wouldn't really be a con. I mean, I guess it would be a con, but not really, because
you can do that stuff.
Yeah, you can do that stuff without an extra screen. So
I mean, I would miss it because of the whole. Because even in the fights, you could see like enemies and their weaknesses and their you could see stuff.
Kind of there's a pro and a con to going.
There's that Wii U gamepad advantage for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. What about the portable aspect? Would that work as a portable game? You think?
It would not work.
Yeah, I think it'll do fine. I mean, to me, it's like putting Persona 4 on the Vita.
Right. It's a meaty RPG on a handheld, basically, for portable. I mean, it's a console game, obviously, but that's what the Switch is about. Console gaming experiences on the go.
Mm-hmm. Also, if the rumors about the Switch being region free is true, you could also throw in some of the censorship. Take that out and bring us the bikini DLC as kind of a
Come on, man.
So they could
go ahead.
I was gonna say they could sell the Switch version as the cleavage version.
Double D edition.
Double D edition.
Assuming that the rumors are correct about the no region lock, as long as there's English subtitles in the Japanese version, you could import it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but as far as the localizing, they could localize, the text and then leave in the original content, and maybe try to get some good graces back from what they did to the original. But I don't know if they would. But the region-free stuff could help that game if it was ported. I couldn't really think of any cons to why. Because
the only con is that it's just a niche Japanese game that it still probably wouldn't have sold insanely well, because niche games like that just don't sell insanely well on other consoles.
That's true.
If I were to drop, like, hypothetically, if they were to drop it, I would wait until you're 20 mil in install base.
Okay, that's a good point.
It's a niche title. That's the biggest issue it has.
Yeah, but if you did have it there at launch, then it's almost like
it wouldn't hurt.
Instead of like, oh, we're trying to bring you old games, it's like it's still within under a 12-month period. That it's almost like when a game comes out, and then let's say when the Wii U launched, but something came out earlier that year, they still pushed it there. It wasn't like it was late, but it was still in the same kind of 12-month cycle, so it's a little less.
It hurts me.
I'm gonna say because it technically be kind of offensive, considering the game has only been out in America for less than 6 months actually right now, and probably it wouldn't even been out for a year if it came out on the Switch at launch. Yeah. So it kind of it's like a fuck you to the Wii U owners in some sense.
Well, way lesser games get an HD version. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
This game totally deserves to reach a bigger audience. So.
I mean, I'll tell you what, it's a game. We even talked about it earlier. Like me and Juice. Like, I actually do kind of want to play and try the game, and I feel way more sure that I'd probably pick up a Switch version.
Yeah, I'm in favor.
It's so good, man.
So I'm voting.
It is
yes.
a good game.
I'm voting yes for this. This fits for me.
So here's how I want to vote, and Juice, tell me if I'm doing this wrong. Like, I want to say yes because that's how I would play it, but I want to say no because I still don't think there's a market for it. Kind of like Terrell was saying. So
yeah, but
I don't know what I should say.
Yeah, because are we voting in terms of how likely it is to happen, or
no? Just
whether
would you give it the go ahead?
Oh,
It could be. They've already spent the money on making the game, so putting a little into a port to try to potentially get more of some sales. And like T said, you could wait and do it after the install base is up.
It's not a console seller, like it's not a system seller, you know.
Yeah.
it's like a companion piece.
But I see the Switch is doing, especially in Japan, doing really well.
Yeah.
And if you have that game to offer to those people who probably didn't buy a Wii U, obviously, then I think it would sell a lot better.
Plus,
Yeah.
if they want to do if they were even thinking of doing a sequel, it would be years down the road. So it's not like you're going to get
Start
always
building
do
the audience now.
Right.
I'm about to say you do what they did with Persona 4 on the Vita. It's like a golden edition that just adds extra features and stuff.
Exactly.
All right.
See,
So
well,
what
based
is
on
everyone
that,
saying?
Then I would say yeah. I mean, I have no reason to say no. I want to
I'll
play
say
it. Put it
yeah.
on the Switch.
Yeah, I'll say yeah.
It's a yes vote for me.
All right, that worked out.
Clean sweep. Yeah.
Oh, we can get it here, damn it.
All right. So next up, I'm gonna kind of pick and choose here. Let's go to Smash Brothers 4. All right. So I'm gonna start with some of the things working against it.
Yeah, because I'm curious what those will be.
The game already sold 5 million just on the Wii U, and the 3DS version sold like another 8. So it's already sold well. There's already a portable version. To me, those two things really work against it. Has anybody got anything else that would work against re-releasing this? And we're not saying like, I mean, even if they add a couple characters or bring the 3DS content, still, to me, like I think there's already they already have a portable version. So what do you guys think? Is there any other negatives you could think or reasons not to?
I really can't think of any. And I'm trying really hard.
You said Hyrule Warriors, right?
Smash Brothers.
Oh, Smash.
Close.
Sorry,
Somebody said it in the chat.
Are we talking about cheeseburgers? What are we doing?
Where's that cocaine at, damn it?
All right, I'll give you guys another one.
Yeah, I'm curious.
The game already runs 1080p, 60 frames per second. So
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
there literally is no, other than maybe some lighting or something they couldn't try to improve. They're not going to do character models or anything like that.
I see what you're saying. Like it's not going to look really any better.
Here's
identical.
Pro. You won't have like a gamepad teasing you that doesn't even work.
Yeah, piece of shit. Yeah,
it looks like
it's easily portable. You could port it over, and you wouldn't really lose any gamepad features.
Yeah,
because that was some of the pros. Or it doesn't utilize two screens at all. Doesn't even
unlike the
touch
3DS version, which does. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense. But
it's really weird. Yeah.
And the other negative was that such an online focused experience for most people, and the way the Switch works, we don't know all the details, but it just seems like
I'm really curious about how the online stuff is going to work.
And I'm thinking just for if you undock it and you take it on the go,
you can take it to the basketball court and play Smash, man.
You could play local, and have everybody have their own screen and stuff
with the Joy-Con. Oh yes.
I'll give you another pro. I would say the competitive scene, and I know some people don't like to address it, but that scene, for one, you could easily add some smaller things in there, easy to do, like a turbo mode for like people who really like Melee, just to make the game faster. Maybe change up. Adding new characters means a lot in fighting games. That's just how it is. I mean, Street Fighter is like you add one character and it's like, oh shit, the game is completely changed and whatnot. That's actually exactly what happened when Bayonetta was put out. So even though a few characters wouldn't mean, also because there's money to be made there, because people will buy for the stages they didn't buy on the 3DS version, or because even if people bought the 3DS version, no one really plays the 3DS version like that.
Nope.
But the 3DS version's seen as pretty dead.
Here's the question though: if you bring it to the Switch, and you got these diehards, they're going to be playing with the GameCube controller, so they're basically stuck with it just being on their TV.
I would almost say that's kind of a con at this point, because we don't even know if there would be a way to use the GameCube controller. at this point.
That's it. Yeah,
Well,
that
it looks
is-
like in the front there's like USB ports. It looks
Yeah.
like.
I mean, I
But
would
we
be
don't have.
shocked.
We just don't know that, and you're
Yeah,
right.
we
it's
don't
probably-
know
Yeah,
that.
it's guessing. I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a guessing game.
I would
think-
just take a shot in the dark and say that. But that's
Yeah, it takes nothing to actually have that work with the
Those
system.
GameCube Joy-Con
Sure.
idea was
Yeah,
great.
that's what I was gonna say. That.
yeah,
but
that would be
it's
legit
actually
as
pro.
hell.
Is a serious Smash player gonna is he gonna be okay with that? Even if
No.
that's
No.
so, I think
No.
yeah. So I mean, it's a tricky one because
He
I
pulls
don't
his
think
head
it-
out of his ass long enough, maybe.
yeah, I don't think
Maybe
we
he'll
need
start playing with the Wii remote.
Yes.
not that, but it works fine. I mean, it works great on the 3DS, I think. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't think this game needs a sequel anytime soon. I mean,
Well, that's the other reason. That was my other pro.
yeah, that's the other pro is like, do we need a Smash 5? What are they gonna? They gonna start from scratch? I mean, what do we?
No, and that's why I think that there's overwhelmingly nothing but pros with Smash. I mean, the couple of cons you bring up, I think, are legitimate, and like I pretty much agree with that hearing you guys say them. But to me, it's going to reach that wider audience, and you almost have a reset period where with the Wii U and 3DS version, they're like, yeah, we're done with DLC, no more characters and stages, and we're good with that. But all of a sudden, if you get this new featured port to the Switch when that launches, that's an excuse to be like, oh, and we have another 6 characters we're going to roll out over the next year.
Yeah,
For the
because
Switch, that's exclusive to the Switch version. Plus, you get all the 3DS stuff.
You can
Like, that
piss
is
anybody off.
and you consistently create
I don't
hype
think
for
it
the
will.
whole year.
You do, yeah, you do. And and I think that it's because I know T, you were going to be like you'd piss people off, and I guess some people probably would be mad, but I feel like that clean
Smash is a
slate-
system seller. Like I feel like people bought the Wii U for Smash.
Yeah, but haven't they
Like,
gotten their value out of it?
didn't really
already,
care
though?
about anything else.
I'm gonna say, but Smash has been out for like 2 years.
Yeah, I think people got their value out of the Wii U and Smash, so all of a sudden it
No,
can
that's
reach
not my
more.
point.
Oh, okay. My bad. Carry on.
No, I was just saying. My point is, like, most of the people who bought Smash, who wanted it, probably got it. Like, I feel like, and I think you're undercutting Smash because it could be if you give us a Smash 5, that's a system seller. Why port something we've had for a while and we played the hell out of, and we got all these great characters and all this stuff to just port that over? Just I don't know.
The
As
reason
opposed,
why-
you mean as opposed to
make-
make a Smash 5?
to make an argument,
You make a Smash 5, that's totally different.
yeah, but I'm saying like a Smash 5, just realistically looking at what they did with Smash 4, there isn't that much more you can really do.
That's my point. So why regurgitate this onto the Switch when there's not
Well,
that
'cause I
much?
think
Because
people
even if you don't
would
get
buy it and play
casual,
it.
you will definitely get the competitive to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't
I
think the
gotta tell
competitive
you-
is nearly as big as you're thinking it is.
Yeah, why? Yeah, it's not even that.
And they still play Melee on the GameCube. They could still
Right.
play this on a Wii. On Wii
Playing
U.
Project M on Wii.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think it would sell. And to tell you the truth, if they, because I agree with that other point you're making too about why would they even need to regurgitate it. But if they announced a version with more features and the 3DS content and said they would roll out new DLC characters, I would buy the Switch version. Like I would be like, oh, cool, like that's a whole new reason to play it. I
He
think that
doesn't
would
agree
actually
with
be
you,
pretty
man. He left.
oh yeah, he did.
T was like, I got sick of your shit.
cool. I pissed T off. He's like, nah,
I'm
fuck
torn
this.
with this one. I think the voting is going to be because I definitely don't want to buy Smash again. I already bought it twice and put money. I got over $120 into this game. I'm not going to buy it again. Sold 13 million copies already. I think it would be. I mean, I could see why, from a business standpoint, they might want a Smash Brothers there. But I would, if I had any power at all, I would say, even though I said we don't really need a sequel like within the next year or two, but I'm against the port of Smash 4. I wasn't before, but now that I've thought about it more, I just think it's a bad look to have sold that many copies and then bring it out to a third system.
Well, yeah, because I'm going to say I'm for it, and I'm partially going to use the Street Fighter logic. Because Street Fighter did that all the PlayStation 3 generation, where they had 4 come out. And the difference here is that Nintendo it's not like Nintendo's going to make like 6 versions of Smash 4. But I think for a launch of a new console, having maybe like 6 new DLC characters, maybe or that you don't even have to pay for it. They just automatically download to your console as soon as they are available. That
or even built into the game.
Yeah.
But what do you?
And
You're
I
going to
think
bring 6 new characters, and then not have that? What do you do for the Wii U and 3DS people? Do they have the option to get those characters?
Yeah, I think they still have the option to get the characters, but I think people are going to play it on the Switch because they'll also get more stages from the 3DS, some that people want to see HD versions of, and you might get some better features, like maybe a better online mode. You know. And on top of that, I don't think, and even though the whole GameCube controller adaptive thing is up in the air, I really doubt that they're not going to include it because they know how much people like it, and they made it a point in the trailer to push esports. You don't push esports in a trailer and not do exactly what they want. I mean, that's exactly what they did for Smash 4. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying, even though me personally, I don't necessarily like the idea of the HD remaster to begin with, but I think on a business level, it makes sense to do, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I guess I wouldn't be mad. I just probably wouldn't buy it. But if I was, like I said, if I had a vote, I've switched it to no, even though I've said yes before. So Rob and Robert, what are you guys' thoughts? Would you?
Oh, I'll let you go first, Robert.
See, I would. It's so difficult because I love this Smash. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and it's so amazing. But I really think if you could just wait out and kind of put like the same roster and obviously more, plus a new single player mode and all that other stuff, that's a Smash 5 right there to me. So it's like you can wait until 2019 to get a Smash Brothers, and I don't see that as a big deal personally, and that's why I wouldn't want it to be ported. But if it was, I'd probably still get it because I know I'm gonna. In all reality, I'm gonna want to play it still. And if they do,
that just leads into my reasoning right there. That's what that is.
All right. So Rob, what do you say? T's not here for tiebreaker. If we.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll pop back in though. So I see three different scenarios with Smash Brothers. There's the scenario where they release like the pretty bare bones basic port, and they don't really do a whole lot to it that I still think would sell, but that to me is not interesting. So in that case, I would say no. They could do this. They could do the port that's kind of more like what Terrell and I were talking about, with more features, new DLC characters, some 3DS stuff. That to me, I'm 100% go ahead. I think it would be a really smart idea. The other one is they end up making a Smash 5, and maybe that releases like in year 2 of the Switch. And if that happened, I actually would be very excited for that. So I probably prefer that overall. I'd say don't port Smash 4. Hopefully you have a reason to change Smash Brothers enough to warrant a 5th game now, a couple of years after Smash 4.
That is good point.
And that'd be great. So I'd say do that instead. But I feel like more than likely what they would do is port it. And then it just depends on which port we get, the bare bones one or the super fancy new DLC character one. So I feel like...
Yeah, you would have to know if they were working on, like, how soon Smash 5 could be around. But
yeah, I mean, if we knew it was on the way, I would say forget Smash 4. If they were like... If they did something like, hey, we're going to have a port of Smash Brothers 4, and then a new Smash Brothers...
Well, yeah, because you wouldn't need to port it at that point.
Yeah, then don't port it, yeah. But we probably wouldn't know that.
Put Sakurai on his deathbed.
I tell you revived.
So let's just say.
So I would say yes tentatively, because I think if they did it, they would do the better version that Terrell and I talked about.
Okay.
I'll say this though, I severely doubt they're working on a Smash 5. At least not with Sakurai, because
I don't think it's impossible. I think it's.
I think he listen.
That man want to live longer than 55 years.
I'm about to say they've been burned out with like every Smash game.
He want to have use of his hands for the rest of his life. Yeah.
He'll pass the reins. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's cool.
T, it's even right now. 2 against 2 for a port of Smash 4.
You gonna put it on me?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna put it on you.
Well, it's a no-brainer for me. I already made my argument, so
I can't remember.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
You want Smash 4? Get a Wii U. Yeah.
Yep. And I could say that for everyone, but I was just looking at them a little more rational. Yeah. These are taking longer than I thought, so maybe we're gonna have to try to quickly just go through a couple here. I mean, because we got some major ones left.
Okay.
And I'll skip a couple. I'll cross a couple off. Let's go to Bayonetta 2. And I think obviously there's room for visual improvement. The frame rate was pretty good, pretty much 60, but I think you could bump up the visuals and lock that at 60. And it works fine. Single screen. You don't need dual screen. And I think it'd be a great portable game. So, and it, if it sold 1 million, we would have known by now. Nintendo would have said something. So I think there's room for sales there. What do you guys think?
I think we're more likely to get a Bayonetta 3 than a port of Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing. Like 3 could potentially. It's been long enough where 3's likely could happen in the first year. So
yeah, I definitely think. I mean, I am in full support of Bayonetta 2 getting a port. I think that's another game that people really want. People who didn't want to buy the Wii U wanted to play it, and now all those people who didn't want a Wii U, they do want to Switch. So there's definitely going to be people who'll be like, "Oh, finally, I can play Bayonetta 2." So yeah, I think that it definitely, and that's a game like as good as it looked. I actually could see them still perfecting a couple of things on the visuals too. So they might even be able to sell that. Obviously, the frame rate's fine, but they might be able to do just some tweaks to like some of the ambient effects of the environments that could look really awesome.
Yeah, I think there's out of the games we talked about so far, I think this one has the most room for visual improvement.
It does, and I think that'd be cool. I don't really know that. I mean, I guess it'd be fine for portable. I don't think there's an advantage to portable other than that you can do it.
No,
so
it doesn't hinder it. I think it works fine.
Yeah, it doesn't hinder it. So I don't know if that's kind of half pro, half con, but
play it in small bursts.
Do it, man. People will buy.
So I'm going to say yes to a port of Bayonetta 2 as well.
Me as well.
I would say yes if it's a trilogy pack with Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, snap.
So you're saying no by itself.
So no, really, even though I understand that, it could get the more sales and it deserves the more sales for sure. But like it well, you know what? Bayonetta 1 did get a port, right? So I mean, why can't
yes or no? Would Bayonetta 2 get port?
I would say yes.
Yes, all right. How about you, T?
Nope. I'm gonna say no because I don't think it's gonna benefit from the sales thing. Like people who are gonna buy Bayonetta would have bought it already. Like Bayonetta 1.
I think that's one of the games that didn't get people to buy the Wii U, but they really wanted to play it.
Yeah.
Look at Bayonetta 1. It was on 80 million consoles or something, and still didn't do that well. It didn't sell very.
Actually, I'll agree with T, and I'll add on to this because you can make the argument. Well, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is kind of similar in that way.
Same thing, yeah.
But here's the difference. I think Tokyo Mirage Sessions has more to gain from it than Bayonetta.
Tokyo Mirage Session, wish it was anywhere in the league of what Bayonetta 2 sold on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I don't think Bayonetta 2 would gain more
niche
from
action game. I think the people who wanted to play it again, more people will probably play it. But a lot of those people
are
Nintendo haters anyway. So
I'm gonna say I'm more inclined to believe
Switch.
I'm more inclined to believe in Bayonetta 3 than I am Bayonetta.
I would be more inclined for Bayonetta.
I agree with that, but I still stand by. I think people. I
just don't see the benefit. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's justified enough personally.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. All right, next one, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Fuck.
There's a lot of cons with this one.
A lot of cons.
Because we're losing that control.
This was one where you at first thought you'd be like, oh yeah, they could really bump up the visuals. I mean, it could definitely do with more horsepower, more RAM, all that.
I think 60 frames per second would be awesome for that game.
Yeah.
But I don't care
that.
Compared to that.
I don't know that 60 frames would do anything for that game, honestly.
I think it would. I mean, it would look good. As soon as you saw it, you'd be like, "Oh yeah."
It would look good, but the combat.
Because the combat's not really.
Nothing's reliable.
It doesn't really benefit the combat.
No, it's a visual thing only. It's not a gameplay improvement.
I'd rather just have full out visuals at 30.
We probably can fix it.
Just have the hit detection.
We could also the hit detection was stupid with them damn cars.
I was definitely
walking through cars.
That just has so many come to play if you have them get hit. So the cons. Dual screen, baby.
There's one huge con.
The dual screen.
One screen. That's
To me, that's a huge downgrade. To go to
they definitely cared about the gamepad when they made that game, and when they designed it, it was literally at the forefront of their.
You're almost neutering it to take it away.
For real.
It's like putting Zombie U on everything else, making it zombie.
Don't even get zombie. More like poop. You're welcome for that. So anyway, yeah,
Yes.
major cons for Xenoblade, man. Without that controller, it's like a totally different game. It's a less good game. It is definitely a less good. It's not. It wouldn't be a terrible game, but it would be way less good.
You know how it's like when you play it off, if you play it off TV play, you have your little yellow arrow.
I would never even try that.
I did it once, and I was like, nope.
I probably have about 20, 30 hours off TV, so I know it works. Wow. But you got that yellow arrow, and then on the gamepad, I could just touch the screen and quickly get my map. I don't have to pause anything. I can keep flying. So
it's still real time. It's kind of like what Diablo does. That's cool.
So
I guess.
I mean, work.
They could make it work, and I'd love to see what they could take that game and that those continents and that art style even further with more horsepower.
But it's also another game that is once again it seems to be a running trend with some of these Wii U games. is another niche game that's and I think Xenoblade was pretty close to 1 million, like 800,000 or something. I don't know how many more people would get that, to be real with you. Especially
you might get another couple 100,000. That's
because I'm about to say, because you also got to think about the combat. The combat, I think, was the biggest turnoff for people because it's just kind of it's not really turn-based, but it's not really action-oriented. It's kind of like a mix of the two.
It's a hybrid.
And it's not like a well-known gameplay style. Most RPGs are either turn-based or just action. So I don't know if it would be justified to put in the work to make it look. It'd probably be one of the better looking ports, but it's just kind of like, is it worth the money?
Yeah, I think it
kind of sucks because I think the combat, if more RPGs had this style, I'd play more RPGs.
Me too. But I think this has the most potential for visual improvement. But I think I wouldn't start the game over. I wouldn't buy it again just because I'm just not going to start it over.
200 hours.
But, just looking at it okay, if you think there's potential for a lot of people who just didn't buy the Wii U, they just couldn't get over whatever stupid reason they had. And, a lot of Sony fans are also RPG fans. I think it would be, maybe wouldn't be some huge system seller, but I think it would definitely be appealing to a decent amount of people. And I guess if I had to just decide, I would say I would go ahead and have it there at launch or something, or right after.
I think it's coming regardless, honestly.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be an enhanced port. I think it's going to be a straight up port.
See that, and to me, that's the worst thing to do.
Yeah. I know why. I know why.
Port is the wrong word. I think it's going to be on the eShop. You can download or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that's an option. That's a possibility.
Yeah. I'll say this. I'll say no because I don't think the money to make it look better would justify the lackluster sales that you're going to get, because I don't think it's going to sell that well.
But if it's there at launch, it immediately has the potential to sell more just because people want to buy multiple games at launch. The
less competition it would have, the better, for sure. Is kind of what you're getting at. Is there wouldn't be that many.
It's gonna get lost in the launch window.
I'm about to say you're also gonna have to put it next to Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that game's gonna get launched regardless.
Which is also kind of an RPG.
Those two games ain't going well together. That's somebody's gonna sell.
Zelda, I'm about to say Zelda's gonna crush that thing.
I don't believe Zelda's a launch title, so that's why I'm voting yes for Xenoblade.
Oh, really? I think it is.
Definitely a launch.
You're wrong about that, but
it's gotta be a launch. We'll talk about that in December when we give our predictions for the January 12th.
Oh.
So, okay, what's everyone's take? Xenoblade, yes or no?
No.
Nope.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we'll do Mario Kart 8.
Oh, this is kind of hard considering.
And we know that they showed something, but we don't know exactly what it was. So let's just take Mario Kart 8 as it is. Would you port that?
Straight up port of what we got right now.
No.
I would say no.
We're talking about we know King Boo and some possibly.
Okay, so what they're showing plus what we have.
Yeah, to me.
Can I sing it? Hail to the no.
No. This was near the top of my games I didn't want ported in here. The thing sold 8 million copies, and it's been out since
2015.
Was it 2015?
No,
No, it was 2014. It was May 2014.
So it'll be about 3 years.
Yeah, we're talking 3
2015 was
years
the
by the time the
2015 Wii U was dead.
So get that sequel. Make that sequel. Give me a brand new experience. Do what you do with Mario Kart. I don't want to play. I don't care if they added 8 tracks, 16 tracks. I don't want to play Mario Kart 8 with some new tracks. Just give DLC for Wii U owners at that point.
Yeah, I think we're past that. I think Mario Kart 8 just needs to. I think it's like Bayonetta. It's kind of like Bayonetta 2. I think at this point we need a sequel. Fuck the port, even though we know we're getting it.
I actually don't agree.
Really?
I think if they give me 16 tracks with everything we have right now, and the Switch mechanic, and a battle mode.
Yeah,
that's Mario Kart 9, though.
Yeah, that's pretty getting close to Mario Kart 9 at that point. But
not even close. That
not 16.
Yeah, it is exactly Mario Kart 9.
Actually, I said 8 tracks. I think I put that on Red Knight's video.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, regardless, if you're gonna make a new battle, all these new things, just make a new Mario Kart then.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
with that.
not necessarily.
I would.
So you're telling me you wouldn't have accepted a battle mode on Mario Kart 8 today?
No, I would.
Yeah, but I'm not going to buy a $60 game.
You might as well just save that.
No. Save that battle mode you're going to give me from Mario Kart 8 and put it in. Give me a whole new game. I don't want to hear that. You would have took that battle mode, son.
Yeah, but we're talking about paying for 80% the same game and then getting some stuff you should have got on the Wii U.
Maybe
version.
It's not $60. Maybe it's $40.
Yeah, it'd be different, but
I don't know. I probably still wouldn't get it.
I'm saying no.
The only thing I'd say is I do think it would sell really, really well.
Yeah,
like from the business side, Nintendo would see a benefit, but I don't think from the game side at all. Like I'm pretty much with most of you guys. Make Mario Kart 9. That makes a lot more sense than to focus their effort.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Even if it's going to be early 2018, late 2017,
that's fine.
Well, then
I mean, we're going to get Zelda and Mario in 2017, man. I know it. So like, we can wait for Smash and Mario Kart.
What, 13 million people out of all the gamers that buy systems out there? It's not that many people, man. It's not that. That's a small group of people.
Well, and that's why
you're missing out on a lot of folks.
It'll sell. It'll sell. Just
well, considering we kind of know it already is a thing, so you know.
Yeah, this one's tough because they already showed some stuff, but I mean, what's the, like you said, you got Zelda and Mario in the first year, then you got Mario Kart 8 in the second year, or Mario Kart 9 in the second year. To me, that's way more appealing than Mario Kart 8 at launch.
Yeah. And the other game that I'm now starting to buy into is a game you're probably going to be bringing up, Juice, that I actually do think is maybe going to show up in the first year.
Yeah.
So then you got that. I feel like we can wait for those games.
I think we're being a little bit poisoned by the fact that we saw that stuff in the trailer.
True.
You know, I think if we hadn't and we just heard about it, or what's wrong? What are they going to improve as far as Mario Kart 8's visuals? Like, I mean,
that was one of the
better,
cons,
obviously, but the art style for Mario Kart 8 is perfection. It's like the way Mario Kart should have always looked. You know, if they had the power 20 years ago. So, like, just because it looks like Mario Kart 8, how many sequels that look like the previous game?
Well, no, but the difference is it was Yoshi Circuit with the same HUD, the same everything.
Okay, we played Yoshi Circuit on GameCube. Nobody cried about that.
No, but I mean, like, it was in the same
never looked like that
everything.
before.
Well, what I'm saying,
you know,
it looks identical in every single way. To me, that's maybe the problem they're going to have moving forward with.
But that's everybody right now. Everybody gets a little bit of a visual bump in their sequels, and that's pretty much it. Like, why does Nintendo have to be held to a different standard?
Well, I'm just saying, give me 32 brand new, well, actually 16 new tracks, and there's always 16 retro.
Because we always play retro tracks anyway. Like,
yeah.
And then give the battle mode and just call it Mario Kart 9. I mean, at that point.
Well, yeah, you don't have to be 8. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it looks like Mario Kart 8." That's what I hear a lot.
Oh, it's identical. I mean, I think that is Mario Kart 8 footage except they inserted two.
Yeah, that looks like a port.
The two items. But we'll talk more about
what's the difference between Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3 visually.
No, but it has nothing to do visually. It's the course from the cup, though.
It did change quite a bit, yeah.
Maybe 1 to 2 would have been better.
Maybe 1 to 2 is what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Yeah, those are very much the same. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about what moving forward, what potential problems Nintendo could have, because they made that huge jump finally with the Wii U and HD, and now they're not going to have those huge jumps anymore.
Right.
That'll be a topic of another podcast. But let's just who said Mario Kart 8? I said no.
I say no.
No.
Nope.
I'm gonna say I don't know.
All right,
because we don't know enough. It's like
and Splatoon, the next one. This one's another hard one because I think we saw Splatoon 2.
Yeah, it looked like Splatoon.
But this is more for the people.
I knew it. That's what I've been saying.
Who are saying that it's an enhanced port of Splatoon, and so let's take it at not just Splatoon, but a Splatoon port or enhanced port with adding hairstyles and all that. Because a lot of people are saying that's what they think it is, and even Game Explain's rolling with that, like they got some source that confirmed it or something.
Wait, that is a port? That's what they confirmed? Is that what
they're talking like it's
Emily Rogers said so, man.
Yeah, like it's an enhanced port, which
that's what it feels like.
I think I heard them say that.
I know the more I've seen it, the more I disagree that there's so many. It's so different looking.
Yeah, it really is.
But let's just say it's an enhanced port. Let's say they're working.
Okay.
We got what we saw was enhanced port with all this new stuff. I'm just going to say straight up, no. It's my number one no of all their games, just because Splatoon 2 should be here within a year and a half. Within the first.
This one is hard.
This
one is hard, actually.
That's pretty.
I don't want to play any part of Splatoon 1 again with some new stuff.
Well, I thought we were just going off of like business sense and like things that
we're being asked to, make the call. So making the call. I'm looking at the pros and cons. It's almost all cons for me. Sequel should be out within a year. Game sold really well. Losing the dual screen. It's such an online focused game. Then you got the gyro. The gyro going to work when you got the little portable? Then you're turning your screen. Like, I just think there's so many things going against bringing just mostly Splatoon 1.
Yeah, this one, it's a very similar kind of scenario the way I saw Mario Kart, which is building off of almost everything you said there. Like, there are pros, just like Mario Kart. I do think it would sell, and I do think it would reach a pretty big audience with some changes or with no changes or whatever. I do think there's a business sense there, but I think that the game would only suffer. And also, like you said, Juice, like it's been played to death. There's not that much in Splatoon 1. So what's the benefit to anyone who's played that first game? Like, even the enhanced graphics, it's like, I don't really think that it's going to make a big difference. And Splatoon 2 has to be right around the corner. I've bought into that, definitely. So I feel like, I don't know. It's tough, but I think I just feel it doesn't make sense to do it.
Yeah, I don't think it makes business sense to do it. Not just sense for, game or gamers or whatever. I just don't feel like, because especially Splatoon, it's been so played, like all the events, everybody's been in, and it's just like I think it's just bringing it over to, I'm about to say NX, bringing it over to the Switch. That I know I wouldn't buy it. I'd tell you right now.
And I think beyond that, I think it's just time for new mechanics. I think that game really needs new abilities, new gameplay styles, just new things to it, even more than just maps. So,
Juice touched it right there. He's talking about because for us, it would be a step backwards because we're so used to using the gyro controls.
Oh, the controls, man. Yeah,
like
until
that,
we know what's going on with that.
We wouldn't buy it. I don't.
That'd be an issue. Well, to me, that'd be an issue with the sequel too.
No, but the sequel has a better shot of reintroducing itself. That's the difference.
I agree.
The sequel would be like, all right, this ain't the Wii U. This is a game for the Switch.
A dual analog controller.
We're going to show you how it works better for the Switch to do it this way.
Yeah.
And they have a chance to do that. You can't do that with an old game.
Yeah, they're going to have to really
the old ways.
Possibly rework the whole thing because of the no map on screen and you're not.
I see ways around it. It's not like it can't be done. I see ways around it.
Yeah.
But if I'm playing the same game that I'm used to having all that stuff with, and I don't have it now, that's a step back. But if you give me a Splatoon 2, and it's like this is how Splatoon 2 works.
Yeah.
That makes better sense to me.
I'm gonna throw this out here. Now, personally, I would prefer it to be a sequel. Now, I don't think what we were shown is a sequel. But going off the idea of whether we should port Splatoon 1 to the Switch, I'm kind of. This is probably one of the hardest ones for me because I can't really go either way because porting it over, there was a lot of stupid things that Splatoon 1 just didn't have in it, and I feel like porting it would at least put it to the standard of a traditional shooter. And considering how much they're still pushing Splatoon, and they just recently stopped doing the Splatfest, I can't see it being a sequel. I can't. That's just me. I feel like porting it wouldn't be a terrible idea, and adding a few things to change the meta, like making everything a lot more free and unrestrictive and shit.
Yeah, but that's changing the game to the point.
You're Splatoon.
I don't think it's Splatoon 1 anymore.
Yeah. You're at rank 50. What are they going to do to make you come over to Splatoon and start all over again?
Well, the hairstyles are
new
different.
hairstyles, and
that's going to make you
I'm not
start from rank 1.
Well, yeah, but you also got to remember that adds in new meta with the whole. Oh, well, now the gloves have stats and the shoe.
Well,
and the pin
sure, but you can also just add it on to like your.
Well, no. Listen, I'm not. Listen, I agree with. I rather what we were shown to be Splatoon 2 than to be Splatoon 1.5 Switch remake. I'm just saying that could easily be something you could do in a port too. It's not hard to implement new clothes and new hairstyles.
Animations?
Animations. I mean, I feel like what they could do is also, and this would work in its favor, is they could make it so that your rank and everything you've earned in the first game could carry over, and then they just raise the cap.
And
what if they do something like that?
They could do
that.
It
is asking a lot, but they could do
I don't think it's asking a lot because jumping the cap up. They jumped the cap up in the first game.
Yeah, they did from 20 to 50 or whatever.
Yeah, so it's not like I don't think
it to 80.
Yeah, but they're not going into a completely new.
Yeah, well,
you gotta remember, shooters have a really easy turnover rate, so you could easily add like a few new things, a few new maps, and maybe make the game a little bit more open by being like,
so you're gonna say, okay, here you go, millions of new players. Welcome to Splatoon, Switch or whatever. Here's all these guys already at 50. Go, and go have fun.
Well, here's the thing that I think, Terrell's talking about adding things here and there, but you're still stuck with Callie and Marie, a big complaint. You still got the map rotation still in effect. I mean,
get rid of that.
All that.
All you had to do
not Splatoon anymore. It's Splatoon 2. So I think to have it truly be if they were just going to make Splatoon 1 and just give you new hairstyles and shorts and a couple new maps, that'd be one thing. But if you're talking, I think it still has the problems of Splatoon 1 and it just needs that sequel to branch out and become like a lot of games. I feel the sequels almost are always better. With games like that, with shooters and stuff like Gears 2, I felt way better than Gears 1. Halo 2 seemed to be way better than Halo 1. And I just think it needs that sequel to really become the Splatoon game it needs to be.
Well, it's like I said, I agree. I prefer it to be the sequel. I just don't think it is. That's all I'm saying.
But I feel like you only don't think it is because of the visuals, what you saw.
No, it's not even just the visuals. I just don't think it is. I don't know
why you don't think that.
The way they come out instead of the little circle now, they're way more spread out. Like that.
Yeah, that's some way different stuff going on in there.
Way more different animations, models.
But we can.
I don't think it's different models. I think that it's just different.
I didn't at first.
No, even
they are different models.
Really, I looked at that numerous times.
You can even see it like
it looks more like the Wii U models personally.
See,
but they're clean.
Yeah, there's a lot more texture in the way the shadows bounce off like the eyes and things and the nose. And even like there's like some of the environment and like the trees behind them, there's this glossy sheen on the leaves. Like
stuff that you would do in a sequel.
Well, I mean,
it's really impressive. Yeah, they look really good.
I'm gonna say it is on a more powerful console and it's also new hardware. So I mean, I
have to just take it back because I'm 100% that's Splatoon 2.
Yeah. I hope you're right. I hope I lose.
And
that
I won't say
He's been saying it forever before we even saw anything.
No.
He's been saying they probably would drop a new one immediately after they've put out the NX we were saying back then.
Yeah,
that made a lot of sense.
I've been saying holiday 2017 since the first time someone said Wii U ports. But I will say I love the freaking hairstyles, the side single ponytail.
Yeah, I need to look at those again. I haven't seen them in a bit.
80s, 90s parts.
They're great. So anyway. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to questions. This went on way longer than I thought.
Yeah.
And Rob's got to jump out, so we're going to have to.
I got to eat some dinner.
We're going to wrap this up. So, Rob, why don't you give your final thoughts?
Yeah, it was good to be back on the podcast, spitting the game and knowledge again. It was a lot of fun. And gosh, I don't know. It was it's Halloween. Everyone eats some candy. And yeah, Gears of War is great and Titanfall is great. And I look forward to being back next week.
All right. Terrell, what do you got?
This is the last day of October, and tomorrow officially for me marks the beginning of the countdown for Pokemon that comes out on the 18th. So I'm fucking ready. I'm lit. Anyways, good podcast, fun discussion. It's always cool to come up here and talk, and it's been kind of a while since we had our break. So good talk, guys.
All right. Robert, final thoughts.
Okay, so I saw Ouija the other week, and it was really good. And
welcome to the movie podcast, guys.
Here you go, the damn movies.
And go buy Paper Mario because it's freaking amazing.
Have you beat it yet?
Well, no. You saw me.
I ain't got games to play, man.
You went a week without playing
I'm
it.
more than halfway there. I'm slowly 100%ing everything, and it's awesome. Can't wait. Can't wait for more. And this Thursday, Doctor Strange, people. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited.
Can't wait.
All right, Ms. T, final thoughts.
I hope this isn't the least watched one so far because, obviously it's the holiday or whatever. And but because I thought this was a really good podcast. We covered a lot of cool stuff.
We had some people jump in here. We got over 40 viewers, live viewers, which is a little less, barely less than the average. So people came up and showed up, so it was a good turnout.
Cool. Yeah, great podcast as always. Really good discussion, and play Nintendo phone.
All right, yes, this was a good discussion, and I wish we had a little more time to flesh out some of the few other games I didn't talk about, but it definitely brought to my attention a really good topic, I think, for next week or the week after, where we'll talk about the potential problem Nintendo will have with sequels from Wii U games because they finally made that huge leap. And then now, just like with the PS4's launch, a lot of people thought the graphical improvements were not, I guess, as vast as they were expecting. And I think that's going to be maybe a potential problem with the Switch. So I think, and we'll kind of break down different game series that might be affected more or less. So I think that'd be great. We'll do the questions next week. I won't delete them. I'll keep this post up, and we'll try to get to the questions next week. And for anyone that's looking for our predictions about the January 12th presentation, look for that the last week of December. And then we'll do like Game of the Year stuff in early January. And then, so yeah, we're not going to do any predictions or anything on that. It's too far away. About 2 months from now, we'll probably do that in a podcast. So
yeah, we'll probably have more insight into what might happen come December.
We might. I mean, there might be some stuff comes out, but
some rumors and
leaks,
things.
rumors, and
Nothing comes out though. I don't want anything to come out.
It's gonna happen though.
I think it's way too early to start making predictions because you won't even remember them. Like even if we do it 2 weeks before, we might forget.
Yeah.
So I mean, you do it 2 months ahead of time, you're not going to remember anything what was said. So, but we got some stuff to talk about. We got some games coming out. And
not for the Wii U.
Yeah, not for the Wii U. They just canceled the physical version of Darksiders.
Did they?
Did they?
No
Really?
way.
That to be determined. It's a physical or digital only, and it comes out a week after the other version. I canceled my pre-order on Amazon.
That's cold.
So it's like the November 28th. I mean, I thought I was going to have Shantae and that game to keep me busy through November.
Oh, you never played the first one, huh?
No. So now I got to wait till the end of the month, get it digitally if I choose to get it, and then Shantae comes out a couple weeks later. Yeah. So
buy a physical on Xbox 360 and be done.
Probably.
Damn it! So. It's too bad.
For $10.
All right. So yeah, thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight. I know it's Halloween, but everyone celebrated most on Saturday. I think most adults celebrated it then. We actually had our work Halloween party on Friday. So
I played a really awesome Halloween show on Saturday night, dressed up like a scary person. It was great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, good discussion, and thanks to everybody for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.